Good evening, everyone. Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. It is I, Dennis, with the Fluno, and we're here on a live on Wednesday night. And what an interesting week it has been. Oh my God. Oh God. You got to be kidding me. So we lost our Rumbles. For some friggin' reason, Rumbles did garbage, and I don't know why.
What's
well.
Rumble?
Rumble is another thing, and it's another platform, and it decided just to go, whatever.
Oh,
So there we go. We're here, and we're on YouTube, and we're here on the YouTube, and it's okay. You know, YouTube actually has more viewers than most streaming services combined. Just a fact I saw out there today.
Oh.
So, Two Diesel Larry, how you doing? Oh, G Canada. Oh my goodness. Look, it's the man, the myth, the legend. It is the G Canada joining us from the cold north, the commie cold north.
Well, I definitely agree with the communist part. I mean, it's just gone completely bat. You know what? Crazy up here with the far left radicals. It's bonkers. But it was like 78 degrees or something crazy.
Well, they'll end soon, though. You know that.
Oh no, it's gonna be freezing, under freezing for the next 2 weeks now. Like, this has been the worst winter I can ever remember. I'm not even joking. Like, I remember being like 45 years ago, whatever, when my dad built me a fort in the backyard because they didn't even have like a wooden fence back then. It was just a chain link fence, and all the snow from the field in behind their place blew in. So he built me like a big fort. That was the last time that I remember this much snow in a winter.
It always goes in cycles. Always goes in cycles.
You know, I'm waiting for global warming to come back any time now. Would be just fine with me.
Yeah, it's not. It's I don't see it for some reason.
We got it this week in March here in Florida. It was like 91, but it'll cool down tomorrow.
I'm so sick of people in Florida telling me how bad the weather is, man. You know,
I love it. Oh
yeah.
Actually, this week was great. It was nice. It was 90.
No, it was nice.
Beautiful.
Dennis, 2 weeks ago, I had the sweatshirt on, and now it's like t-shirts. Like, that's how messed up we are.
I'm excited.
Dennis and Monique were constantly complaining through January about how bad the weather was.
It was terrible in January.
Meanwhile, I had 6 feet of snow up, like, from where my sidewalk was, right? Just from the snow blowing. You know what I mean? On each side of the sidewalk, there was like 6 feet of snow. You couldn't even get onto my front lawn because there was so much pushed up from the driveway and the sidewalk. You couldn't get onto it. Like, you'd have to climb over a mountain to get on my front lawn.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
I live in the Florida of Canada. Like, it's not supposed to do this here. I went through a winter, like 3 years ago to 6 years ago. I think we went through 3 winters where it never snowed once. Like, I'm not even joking. Or maybe there was like a couple days where it snowed a tiny bit, and that was it, right? And a friend of mine's wife had just moved here from, out west somewhere, where Frank the Tank's from, like just this crazy western place with terrible weather, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, your weather's all, I haven't seen snow in years. It's great.
There it is.
And now I'm like, how do you like it now?
6 feet of snow is nothing for Saskatchewan. Yeah.
That's why that's why
horrible.
That's why they call Saskatchewan a flyover province.
Like, they have flyovers there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a place you fly over to get to someplace else, right?
Yeah,
so
we have that called
Kansas.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
exactly.
We
call that
Kansas, Oklahoma,
North
Nebraska,
Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and just by coincidence, they are all just south of Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
Yes. So this week has been, like I was telling Fluto as I was opening, this week has been an interesting week. There's been a couple of big things. I have some, but I also have a couple. I actually have two Ford stories, old Fords actually. So
nice.
Yeah. But the big things, of course, we're going to get to is that the continuing disaster that is known as First Brands and the Minivan Mom leaving Chrysler. Because she's done so much. She was managing one car. I mean, it was too much, I guess. So
hey, that new restyle looks great. They did,
I got a picture of it. It's
grand for 51 grand. I'm signing up.
Oh yeah, look at Frank the Tank there. They throwing some flex. I'm only in Saskatchewan because they happen to make really hot women and great wives.
Okay, Frank, I'll trade you 2 Ontario wife and a girlfriend for 1 hot Saskatchewan chick anytime.
I don't think he'll take it.
Probably not.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. So
hey, actually, I just want to interject real quick. My cousins, they owned a lodge in Ontario for many, many years called Fireside Lodge, and my whole family's from Chicago, so I'm the rare native Floridian, but I have roots with, knowing how some freezing weather can work. But yeah, they had a lodge up there for many, many years. They sold it and now they live in Florida. But I never got a chance to go up there, but it looked beautiful in all the pictures. I don't know if you ever.
Sure. Sure, man. I know where Fireside Lodge is. Sure.
Oh, really? Okay, well, that's very cool. I'll let them know.
I was kidding, buddy. No, I don't know where that's. Ontario's huge, man. I was just joking. Ontario's huge. It's not like you can go across the street. It takes like 30 hours to go across.
Oh no, their closest neighbor was like 26 minutes away. Oh yeah,
Christ.
And I mean, most of the province. I mean, you got 10 million people living around Toronto, and if you went from the east of where Quebec meets Ontario, and you went all the way to Manitoba, it would take you about 30 hours to cross.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah,
right. So I mean, it's huge, and there's vast. There's vast.
I thought you might have actually been there. Who knows? It was in the middle of nowhere. No, like I said, the closest store, I think they said, was like a 30-minute. I mean, who knows how long that really is? But I mean, it was. But they loved it. It was beautiful. It looked really, really nice, and they lived up there year round until they retired.
Yeah, there's the GTA, and then there's everything else, right? I mean, it's greater Toronto area, and then everything else. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make fun of them.
When you saying 30 hours, I thought it was like on dog sled, but actually it's a car. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, and it only takes me 18, 19 to get to Orlando from my front door.
Damn.
So think about that. It's actually much longer to cross Ontario than for me to go to here.
Yeah, and when you drive that long in Ontario, you're still in Ontario.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Well, don't feel bad. I mean, if you're 3 miles from Atlanta, you're an hour and a half away from Atlanta. That's how the traffic works in that city.
Yeah.
It's actually faster to cut. It's actually faster to cut through the USA to go past Detroit and by Chicago and up that way than it is, because you have to go around the Great Lakes the other way, right? So you're going all the way around the top of Lake Superior. Otherwise, it's faster, much faster to cut through. Through the USA.
That's a great point. From like say Florida, Chicago would take X amount, and if they drove from Chicago to Fireside Lodge, it was like another 12 hours to get up. Yep, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, I remember telling me about it. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Good Lord.
And I did
nice talking with you. That's really fun. That's really cool.
We did live way up north for a little while after university, and it was a giant mistake. And we had sort of like this young person's like kind of crazy view of what it would be like, and it wasn't like that at all.
Rose-colored glasses.
It was sure. It was the coldest year that anybody could remember in about 20 years, and I walked to work. I actually walked to work, and I remember because it was 1 week after Halloween, exactly a week, so 7 days after Halloween. And I walked to work, and I thought, geez, this is really cold. Like, am I just imagining this? And I got to work, I was freezing. It wasn't that far of a walk, right? But anyway, you get there, and I turned on the radio, and it was minus 36.
Ugh.
that
And that was
horrible.
1 week after Halloween. I couldn't believe it. Minus 36.
Oh, shoot. That's fall.
So, man, that's just terrible.
So, yeah, you guys don't know what cold is.
Yeah, so we have like that. Tony Imperial 7175 is here with his big giant grill. So we're here. And I'm going to start off with a Mopar because I feel like starting off with a Mopar. This is actually something fascinating. I saw this the other day. This is somebody actually is selling a 71 Plymouth Hemi Roadrunner with a 4-speed in it. One of 28 made. Only one of 28 of these cars. I've only seen one in my life. And yeah, and it's a survivor car. So as you see, the car is beautiful.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so we go and we can look here, and you can be your car. It can be your car for $185,000 right now. One of 28, unrestored, 8 days left, up there in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
that's like 3 million Canadian.
I know, exactly. The thing is, it's a triple black car, which is cool. Really odd.
It's actually quite nice. It is very nice.
It is actually really triple black's odd. A lot of people didn't order triple black back then because it's just black. But I mean, if you look at the pictures, I just caught this the other day, and I was kind of like floored, and that it isn't that expensive at this point, considering what we've seen these cars going for. And
okay.
Yeah, there's only 28 4-speeds built in 71. And I guarantee this is the only triple black car. Guarantee it's the only triple black car. And
it looks super clean, but you can never tell until you really get up close. But I mean, just even underneath it didn't look too rusted, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like it supposedly has low miles on it. It has like where is the mileage? 19,000 miles on it.
Oh my God.
I have a feeling those were done.
My Coda has more miles.
I have a feeling this was done at a quarter mile at a time.
Wow.
Look how bright the friggin' pointer is.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, this is
it looks really fresh, man. I mean, it looks really, really fresh.
This is pure car porn. I mean, seriously, that's what this is. Honestly, this is unreal how nice this is. I mean, everything.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. Did they the tail lamps and the front end look very similar to my mom actually had a 71 Polera custom when I was growing up. It looks very similar. Did they part spin a lot of stuff and share parts on this car?
No, they didn't.
Or trying to make it look similar.
They had a similar look going that year for the fuselage.
Yeah.
The B and the that was a C-bodied Polera, right? They wanted a similar look, so they gave the Plymouths a nicer look than the Charger. I honestly like the front of the Plymouth better than I like the Charger.
I am not a Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth fan. That is a very, very good looking car.
Yeah,
it really is a stunning looking car. It's beautiful.
I mean, of course, got the Hemi in there, and I mean, it's just my God. I mean, this is just everything about this car is like just absolutely.
What was that
beautiful.
purple? What was that purple?
That's the horn.
That's the horn. That's what I thought.
Yes, the BP. That's the BP horn.
Oh, that's cool.
So everything about this car is pretty. I just wanted to pull this up because this is just special. Even as there's the fender tag. That's correct. This has never been off the car. It has the paint on one side where they flipped it up, and it's clear on this side, and it got painted. Mine didn't get painted, so it's just Chrysler they're always so consistent. But yeah, this is TX9, X9, TX9. Good Lord. And it's not even special, not even a special order car. Literally not a special order car. Somebody ordered this for the deal, like if ordered for a dealership.
Yeah, but it's how we would have ordered it if we could have ordered it.
Yeah, no
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Like looking at it now, you're going, that person did absolutely nothing wrong when they ordered this car.
I mean, it has everything. It is just crazy. The amount of all the documentation this car has. So this is next level, and $180 something thousand is in my mind is actually pretty cheap.
Do you think he's starting to like try to get a bidding war going for it?
Probably. Oh, there will be.
Right?
There's 8 days left. We can check this on next week, but I guarantee that this will go over 300 easily.
Yeah,
easily over 300.
And you know what my thing is? 20 years ago, or if you want to talk like 2000, there was what, 6 or 7 billionaires in the world, right? Now there's what, 1,500 in the USA alone. Like there's just so many people with so much money that 300,000 or 400,000 means nothing to them. If
Just
they
throw the
really
cash
want
at
this
it. Yep.
car, they really want this car. Like a normal person doesn't have any chance of ever getting anything like this again,
No.
right?
No. Yes, Sue, it is G Canada. Yes.
Hey, Sue.
No.
I just watched
the
a
thing
show
is,
last night actually about that, about how with the investor, the mentality that the days of getting even a beater classic is now thousands more than it used to be because so many people have, hate to use the word, ruined it for folks who just want to get started on a ground level. We're not talking 180 grand. We're talking like just a basic project.
The other part has ruined is that you can finance cars. Like, so someone like me could buy this car and just buy it on 12-year finance. I mean, literally that can be done now. And that also has put a lot of damage because you can't just save your money up and go buy something. You could literally just float a loan for it, which is psychotic.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on
You're floating a mortgage for it.
Oh,
right.
Shit. I don't think, honestly, I didn't pay that much for my house.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I didn't pay that much for my house. I mean, this is insanity.
I mean, I remember after the 2008 crash, like the house we used to stay at in Florida, we used to rent the same one year after year, and it was like 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms and 4,000 square feet. I think it went for like about 150,000 after the 2008 crash, right?
Wow.
Like, when you look at it now, it's whatever 600,000 or 700,000, but at that point, they were down for almost nothing in Florida.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and show me. But so I wanted to show this car porn because this is just, it was beautiful, and this is going to be something that's going to be fascinating to see how sick or healthy the market is, because this car should do way over 300. Way over 300.
And those are factory fogs on the front too, eh?
Those are turn signals.
Oh, that's what those
on
are.
the B-body Plymouths, they put the turn signals underneath the indentation of the bumper, because on the Charger they put it out here, but on this they kind of put them in tight.
See, I always say, man, you got more useless car information than anybody I know. No, you really do. If I asked anybody else that question, they might just say, "Oh yeah, it's fog lights or whatever." But not only do you know that they're turn signals, you know what other cars had, where they were placed. Like, it's unbelievable how much of this information is rattling around.
I got one even more. The only car that Chrysler sold back then with fog lamps was a Barracuda. It's the only one that have optional fog lamps from the factory.
And you laugh, but none of us know this stuff. Like, you just think it's funny. But none of us know what you're talking about.
I thought I was bad with some Lincoln stuff, but no, Dennis has got this.
It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
Well, I mean, this has been my whole life. My whole life has been about cars, because I just love cars. I grew up in a car family, so it's like, I just know these. I remember a lot of things too. I have a very good memory, and I just remember this stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, this, and this, and this, and this, and this is, and it's like, okay, yeah, because I actually saw a thing on Facebook about sunroofs, and like, I've only been researching sunroofs for 40 years because I have one, and somebody made a very stupid statement, then used AI to try to back up the stupid statement, and I'm like, AI is wrong, right?
You have a roof in your Dodge?
I have a power sunroof for my car. Yeah.
And that was factory?
Factory car is $500 option. $500.
That's wild, man. I didn't know. I remember seeing your car a few times, but I guess I didn't notice that it had a factory sunroof.
Yeah, there's a big giant hole in the roof, and
leaks.
No,
yeah, I was going more leak standard on the Chrysler product.
No. Actually, remember, the sunroof is German. The sunroof is German, so of course it doesn't leak. It works. No, it has drain tubes and it has gaskets. That's fine.
But I will say, Dennis, and I wasn't arguing. I was just saying, I know for a fact that the 1960 Thunderbird had a factory option sunroof, not power, but you could wind it in 1960.
It was not a factory option.
It came from Ford.
But it didn't, because the first factory option was the Cougar. The Cougar was the first factory optioned power sunroof car.
So they would send it out to, like, say, ASC and then put it back.
They had
in, like,
ASC do that for them.
Okay,
they had ASC do it for them.
Okay.
Because they did it for the Cougar for some reason. I don't know why they did the Cougar, but they did the Cougar. And they actually did some Mustangs that year in 67. Those are rare. But then Chrysler saw that and they said, hey, let's throw this into our Charger in 69. Not anything else. They just put it in the Charger. Because
T-Bird, it didn't come back until 69. So 60, and then it came back for T-Bird in 69 or 68, something like that, with the Flare Bird.
See, Tony Imperial's the same way. Of the 69 to 75 Imperials. Each one is good. Yeah, that's a very unique car. So
that's cool.
You have to know everything about those cars. Everything about those cars is because they went to C-body at that point because they used to be their own. They were an E-body. Yeah, there's some more useless knowledge. They were E-bodies in the 60s. And then they became EC bodies. And that's when they did the fuselage. And then the 75 was like the biggest car ever made. It was freaking enormous.
See, that's why you actually... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's fine. I was going to say, Mike, it's like 6 inches longer than my car, which is 220 inches. Those bumpers and everything really helped it. Yes.
It's enormous.
But see, things like this are the reason that you should be doing this show. Like, because you can, but I'm serious, because you can answer these questions and nobody else can. Yeah. Right? I mean, everybody can go to Google and look it up, sure, and dig into it. But you can actually just pop this garbage off the top of your head, and it's unbelievable. It's unreal,
and we learned all this before Google. Think about how, I've got like 8 or 9 Continental books that 30 years ago, and now I see people doing videos. I'm like, hold my beer. You know, I mean, it's not an ego. It's just
video. I literally used this book. And I have a couple and a couple other books I have back there, but I literally use this book. This one's really worn.
What were the old? Do you remember the old books that we used to use to fix the cars with? I forget what they were.
Chilton.
Yeah, I have one back there.
No, there was another one too, but I forget the name of it. It was, every car had it, and you could just like a manual on how to fix.
I have service manuals. I have actual service manuals for Chrysler back there.
Yeah, I got mine too.
I dig those out because actually the sunroof has its own section in the body manual. So
wow,
12 pages.
So you said the sunroof was German. What do you mean? They sent the bodies over to Germany?
No, they I did a whole video on it. ASC, American Sunroof Corporation, was started by a German immigrant who was an engineer and ended up making a relationship with Goldie, which was the Haynes is the other book. Haynes book. I have those two.
Haynes and
thank you, C. Del Brumley. That's exactly what I was thinking. Was Haynes.
So he had this relationship, and he worked with George Barris to put sunroofs in some of Barris's cars. And Barris was like, "Hey, this is actually could be a pretty good business deal for you. You know, you're trying to find some sort of work." And he set up American Sunroof Company first in Los Angeles, then moved it to Detroit. And then he had, through Barris, got contacts with Ford. And that's why they did the Ford stuff. And then finally convinced them to do a Ford factory option in 67. And then, of course, Chrysler went to him and said, "Hey, we know you're doing this for Ford. Could you do this for us too?" Sure. And so then that's when the option came on the Charger. First, it was the Charger. Then in 70, it went to the C bodies, got it, and the E bodies got it in 71. The A bodies never got a power sunroof, and the last power sunroof in the smaller cars was 72. 73 went manual, except for C bodies, which kept power sunroofs till 74 or 75. So yeah.
So yours is electric? It's
electric. Boogie woogie woogie.
Okay.
Yeah. It's electric. It has its own 20 amp circuit that they installed really, really poorly at American Sunroof. And it's really if you saw the quality of this installation, You'll go, how? They literally ran the wire up the A pillar and pinched it. They actually pinched it behind it and just said, that's good enough. So it's been pinched since day one. And I put it back to the way it was. So it's the same way. It's just pinched.
Yeah, well, as long as it works and doesn't leak. And you've never had any problems with warping or anything in it. That's crazy.
No, it's a metal roof. It weighs like 30 pounds, 40 pounds. It's heavy.
I mean, you're only pushing 206 horsepower anyway, so
yeah, we'll yeah. I can run low 14, so I think I'm doing.
Sorry, Fluno. I got a little thing I got to bug Dennis about every once in a while.
Yeah,
when he ran
I wanted to get to the
car
track
on that dyno, and it was all messed up.
I was running on six. I was running on 6 cylinders. I didn't know I had a problem. I was running on 6 cylinders. Oopsie.
I can't help myself.
Feel that? Go for it. It's fun. That's good.
I'm gonna go to the track in May, and so when I run my 13s, you can eat that, okay?
Yeah, well, until then, I get the chant 206 every time I see you. 206. But anyway, 206. Geez, now I've lost my train of thought after that. I just keep getting 206 in my head. Go ahead, please.
Oh, I'm good. I was just repeating 206 now. That's
all right. So here's a horrible story from Ford Authority. So this happens all the time. F-100 owner paid $25,000 for restoration that didn't happen. I hate seeing stuff like this, but this happens all the time.
How could you think that 25 grand would be enough to do a restoration for starters, right?
Well, and it's enough to get the vehicle mechanically sound, or maybe just to paint it if it isn't, just kinda. I'm just trying to figure out because it's expensive, especially these things. These are expensive. They wanted a new engine, transmission, steering wheel, and front end. So there was no paint. So 25 grand is not bad. Soundproof, seat upholstered steering wheel put in there, new dash and air conditioning. Okay, that doesn't sound too crazy. 25 actually sounds kind of reasonable on this. And so they would need to pay for parts and labor in advance. That's usually your this public service announcement. That's usually your warning sign.
Yeah,
money you never pay in advance ever.
No.
I mean, you could buy
maybe
them
like
parts.
A binder, maybe like half down or something.
Well, I could see paying like $5 grand to get it going, and then seeing what's happened after $5 grand, and then maybe giving another $5 grand. You know what I mean?
Something like a draw. They draw on it.
You're dropping 25 grand right off the hop. Now you're an idiot.
And so then they paid $7,000 for parts. Oh my God! In April, followed by $6 grand for a new engine. $6,000 for a Ford engine. I mean, they're usually like $500.
Yeah,
it's a Ford engine. I mean, come on. Followed by another $6,700 for more parts and $5,000 for labor. I mean, even at $200 an hour, how many hours are they saying they worked on this thing? Jesus Christ. That's like 30 hours, almost 25 hours of work on this. I mean, that's ridiculous. Remove the F-150 100 seat, steering wheel, and speedometer, and that was it. So they took some stuff out. They said 10 weeks, which is also your other warning sign. You got $10,000 back that he paid for a new. Wait, now it's $10,000 for an engine? Holy Jesus. Wow. So yeah, so this is what?
So what is it, a Bentley?
Well, no, hell, for me to build the 340 right now would be more than $10,000. So yeah, it would be more than 10 grand to rebuild my engine.
Wow.
I know my cousin had I think it's a 67, maybe a 68 Chevy pickup like that, 2-door, smaller one, redone, and it actually got running into about 40 to 45 grand, and they left the body. I wanted to ask you about this because I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do this. You didn't actually paint the outside. It's sort of like rusted
patina.
It's called patina.
That's patina. They do it all down here in Florida.
Yeah,
that's the hot thing now. That's a word I really can't stand anymore either. Patina.
I know. Yeah,
but yeah, you prep the body, really you clear it.
Yeah, I don't either. Nope.
I mean, he loves it. Says it saved him a ton of money, but and I guess if he wants to get it done at a different time, like mechanically, it's sound now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, it's pretty cool. He actually has, and this is pretty wild. So when he takes it to shows or whatever, he had a little a shot shooter put into it, so you can have you can put a little shot cup in the yeah. I mean, he trailers it. You know what I mean? But you can put a little shot cup in the glove box, press a button, and it'll put an ounce into your glass for you.
Ridiculous. So here we go, Tony Imperial with this fact I do know. 71 Imperial, first American car to offer four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and they did them like the trains did. It was kind of mechanical. It was mechanical anti-lock, and it worked on the pressures. The pressure got too high, it would go and it would pulse the brakes. And so, and they did that with that wasn't four-wheel disc. It actually was rear drum. So yeah, that's actually that and it was expensive. It's actually listed as an option.
First car I ever had with it was my '87 LSC.
Yeah,
my very nice car.
And nice. It was gorgeous. But that's the thing. I don't think more people's lives or more accidents have ever been stopped by any other reason but anti-lock brakes. And governments could have mandated them in every car so long ago. It's not even funny. If they were truly interested in saving lives, they could have easily mandated it in everybody's.
Well, the thing is,
everybody's car.
The technology really wasn't there till the 80s. I mean, because to do it right, the one that they had on that Imperial was basically like trains. So it kind of worked, but you also lost. You got a lot of pulsing in the pedal, and you did lose some braking. You lost some braking efficiency, but
my point is it did, in the 80s, it was working very well. Four-wheel disc, anti-lock brakes, and it still took another 20 years before you
General
saw
Motors
widespread adoption, right?
General Motors is the reason. Literally, General Motors.
Why
General Motors. I don't know, because it costs money. I actually was with my neighbor's kids. They were looking at a Saturn. It was a 2006 Saturn. And it didn't have anti-lock brakes in it. 2006 car did not have anti-lock brakes. 2006.
That's bizarre because that was one of the selling points back in the early 90s that every Chevrolet had ABS. Even a Cavalier, my driver's ed car on a 92 Lumina or whatever it was, had ABS. And they used to brag that, hey, we're making it. And then, of course, as time went on, they said, hey, we're going out of business. Let's bean count. And they took it away. So that's probably what happened.
Yeah. It's like because my 89 BMW has probably, I mean, some of the best anti-lock brakes. I mean, it's not, you don't ever, I mean, and think about it, that system was designed in the early 80s and the Germans nailed it. Like literally there is no pulsing. You can actually lock the tires up if you really need to. It will lock the tire, but it is, and it's a very robust system. I mean, they're very durable, very simple though.
There's a big difference though. That car is extremely light.
Also, that helps a lot.
Yeah,
that helps so much.
I mean, I'm guessing it weighs well under 3,000 pounds.
It weighs 2,600 pounds.
Yeah, well, there you go.
With me in it.
Yeah, that's what
I took so much
about.
weight. I took so much weight out of that car.
That's a nice light little car to throw around.
It's fast.
It fun.
It's actually really fast.
You got the straight six in it, right?
Yeah, I had the M20, the 2.5 liter.
Yep.
It's chip.
Yeah, it's a great little motor, man.
Oh, it screams. And I have a 373 shore grip in it. I pulled that out of a junkyard. I love that, man.
It's got to be 5-speed in it, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
5-speed, yeah.
Yes.
4 and an overdrive? Is that what it was?
Nope, all 5. Yeah, 4 and an overdrive.
Or is it close ratio?
No,
it's
4
and an overdrive.
It's not close ratio. 4 and an overdrive. The overdrive is 0.8, and so you're still tacking because of the tire size and the gearing. You're still at 70 miles an hour. You're tacking 3,100 RPM.
Yeah, it's a little screamer on the highway.
Oh, it's awesome, and I know that the entire engine's getting lubricated very well when it's spinning that hard.
Those older BMW motors were so smooth, man. And you get them up and you think they're going to run out of power and they don't. You think they're going to run out of RPMs and they don't. They just keep climbing and
It
climbing.
goes the red line at 7,000 RPM.
Yeah.
It pulls all the way up the red line.
You burn any oil at all in that thing?
No, I don't burn oil. I leak it because it's a BMW.
Yeah,
I mean, I did put the what's that stuff? The ATP 205 in it, and I actually got rid of some of the oil leaks. That's some really good stuff.
As Derek would say on VGG, I'm going to rebuild the transmission as he dumps the stuff into
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
He rebuilt it. Rebuilding.
Because my oil cooler lines were actually leaking. They were seeping, and I'm like, they're $300 to replace them, and they're a real pain in the ass. And I'm like, let me try this $20 bottle of stuff and see what happens. Hey, they stopped dripping. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're done. Cool. And I still have to do the rear main seal on it, but that'll be when I do the clutch.
Is that the one that's for your daughter, or is that a different one?
No, that's the convertible. I did the rear main seal on that one. That one doesn't leak at all. I actually have a BMW that doesn't leak.
Oh, okay. That's why I keep getting confused then. I thought you just had one of them.
I have two. I have two of these because I hate myself. I actually no. I like working on BMWs because even though Fritz makes it very, very complicated because that's what they like to do, it makes sense, and the parts are always readily available. I can get parts. I just got a water pump. I had a choice of 6 water pumps for that convertible.
Do you have to have them shipped from Europe, or you're getting them right?
No, place in the United States, right in America.
Cool.
Actually, the water pump I got was made in Italy. It's a Graf.
Oh God.
No, Italy actually makes most of the parts for BMW. They make most of the small parts. Yes, they do. They're very important for that. Hell, I got a fan for the car. The fan broke because that's why the water pump went out. I got a fan. It was $25, plastic fan.
Try to get a fan for a North American car that's that old.
Forget
$500.
You'd be lucky if there is one. And with first brands going under, it's almost impossible to buy parts now. We have a friend, Fluno and I have a mutual friend. I'm working on his car, and I'm trying to find a pair of brake drums. And we're having a hard time.
I thought he bought them.
Oh no, one of them they basically said, "Oh, we don't have it," and so now he has to buy another one from another distributor so we can get 2.
Is that where you were showing us where you had one, where you could only buy one?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. It was really vintage Viper 76 Green Beetle. Bosch did a great job with anti-lock system, and Ford used the same one. Yep.
I wonder if that Bosch system was in my my Mark.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was actually.
Bosch perfected so much stuff in the 80s. We don't even think about it. They perfected fuel injectors and anti-lock brakes. I mean, they perfected fuel injectors. I mean, when's the last time you heard a fuel injector fail?
You got a point there. The only ones that I hear about fail now are the high pressure ones in diesel systems, because the diesels, like, man, 25 years ago, diesels were indestructible, and now you get into the blue, the diff, the high common rail, the high pressure common rails, and they have all kinds of problems with them. I know guys that use diesels forever in their fleets, like with work trucks and stuff, and they've gone back to using gas motors now because it's not worth the $6 or $7 grand a truck upgrade in the beginning, and they have just as many, if not more, problems than the gas motors do. You never make your money back.
No, and also the diesel itself, the fuel is not, it has less lubricity now, and so you got to actually put stiction fluid in there, so you have to add more stuff to it. And they just made diesels almost unreliable on purpose, of course, because they compete with electric cars. So there's that.
I worked for a place 25 years ago, and they actually, when the 7.3 Power Stroke came out, the turbo diesel, they were the first people in Canada to put 1 million kilometers on one. And Ford bought it back. This thing had not burned a drop of oil. They were serviced regularly, though, right? Like, I mean, serviced well.
Well, you have to, yeah.
Ford actually bought the motor back and tore it apart because they wanted to see its internals. They said it was spotless. There wasn't a problem with it. And they, it's actually gone downhill since then. I mean, the 6.7s are better now.
Yes,
but
they are, thank God.
The constant need to push the horsepower and the torque when you really don't need it anymore. I mean, do you really need 1,100 foot-pound of torque in a 2-ton pickup truck? No, of course not. 700 or something and 300 horsepower will pull anything that you need to pull it with. But
you're no kidding.
It's the constant need to put more and more stress on these diesel motors, and like Larry saying here, the EPA rules with the diff fluid and the
that not anymore in the United
exhaust.
States. No more diff in the United States.
What do you mean?
Our EPA went, we don't need to do that anymore. And you can actually you can do deletes now. For now, it's legal.
It's legal. It's legal to do deletes.
Yep.
We've got MTO, so it's Ministry of Transportation of Ontario, and they actually check. Like if you've got a 1-ton dually or a 1.5 ton that you do work with, right? So it's commercial vehicle, like say you got a roofing company or something like that. They'll sit up at the dump and wait for you to come in, and they'll actually check and see if you've ripped the exhaust off and put a chip into it, and they'll give you a fine, man.
Good Lord.
It's nuts.
Well, we talked about this one time where when I'd be at the lot and in the bullpen, every one of us had at least 3 or 4 people who wanted a 7.3. This is about 20 years ago. Everyone had at least 2 or 3 customers that wanted a 7.3. And if one came on the lot, it was like that scene in Airplane where everybody ran to the phone booths and boom, they fell over because we were all trying to get our customer to come in and buy the 7.3. I mean, I'm not joking. Literally, it was like, and everyone ran, blah, 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 and we're on the phones trying to reach who's going to be the first one in to get the 7.3 with 200,000 miles. It didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. And look what happened when they did the 6.0. And what was after that?
I owned one of those. I owned the 6.4.
And the 6.4 was a huge improvement, but here was the glitch on that, and we had to make people sign waivers. If you tried to change out the exhaust or do anything on it, it would kill the computer, whatever it would do. And we said, look, if you alter this engine in any ways, you're going to avoid XYZ on the warranty. Good people like to modify, but it had a burner in it. It was a better engine. Yeah.
So all right, so we had a 6-liter. And after we finally got it all fixed, it got hit by a dump truck, which sucked because it actually was all fixed finally. And it was getting over 20 miles to the gallon on the highway. And it got hit by a dump truck.
It wouldn't have been fixed for long.
No, it
wouldn't have lasted long. I don't think so.
They studded it. No, it got studded. It was fixed. So then we got a 6.4. Okay, cool. We'll get a 6.4. We like the 6-liter. And then we got 11 miles to the gallon. 11 on the highway, 11 miles to the gallon with that thing. 11.
See, and when these fleet guys go through all this stuff, then why would they keep going to diesel? You know what I mean?
No reason.
And it was perfected with the 7.3. We all know it was absolutely perfect. I mean, did it get amazing gas mileage? No, but I remember leaving. They came out with that 6-speed standard, right? I don't know if you were calling it a 6-speed, but there was a low and then 5, right? And it was a great gearbox. It revved low on the highway. It had enough power to pull anything. It didn't need to be any more. And they've just screwed with it ever since because of EPA and rules and trying to get it the
low sulfur, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, the low sulfur diesel's terrible, like you were saying.
It ruins the. You have to use stiction fluid now. You have to add some more stuff because it's just the way it is. All right, so. I got something kind of cool here. There's something kind of cool. How about 10 Ford Fox bodies that are not the Mustang? And how many do you think you know?
Probably all of them.
Yeah, I know.
But I owned a bunch of Fox bodies.
Yeah. First of all, here we go.
Owned one.
The Ford Fairmont. This car is
Futura.
It was not exciting or anything, but it was a good car. I mean,
that was my first car right there.
They sold so many of these cars.
The 4-cylinder, 4-speed standard.
Yeah.
I paid $500 for it. My grandfather felt bad that he gave me $300 back. Yeah. I think he just wanted me to give him the $500 to prove a point. And then he gave me the $300 back. So I paid $200 for it. The safety cost me $100 in a case of beer.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that. That's a great story because I bought my dad, this is like 10 years ago, it was a 96 Continental. I got it from my friends at Lincoln Land, mint car from Naples. We had 100,000 miles, but I mean, it was garage kept. I bought it for like $2,000 for my dad, right? And so I give it to my dad as a present for all the thanks and this and that. I give it to my dad, and he says, "What would you have made on this selling a car?" I said, "Well, technically 25% of this and bro." So he gives me like 25% of the $2,000 back.
That's $500.
Nice.
Exactly. And I go, "Dad, come on." And he goes, No. He goes, "No, you bought this for me. You did all the work, yada, yada, yada. And I love the car." I'm like, "Let's split the difference." So he gave me $250. I said, "Look, $250." So we worked that. I worked the deal in the wrong way for me, but I said, "There's no way I can take $500 from him as a gift," you know. But he loved that car, and a good friend of ours actually still owns it to this day. Jeez. So,
see, nothing up here lives that long, right? Everything just rots out, like it's gone. You know.
How about this?
There you go.
Do you remember the Mercury Zephyr? The Mercury
Zephyr.
Yep. The Zephyr.
Slash Futura. That's also the Ford Futura.
My grandfather actually had a 4-door Zephyr at one point.
Jesus. Look at that. The Zephyr commercial under $4,500 in 1978. I think they only came in twos. I think that's why it was a Zephyr. And it had the 2.3 liter, the 2 liter, and the I guess the 302. But you know,
wow. That was a detuned 302.
We all know the Mercury Capri.
Yeah, my high school girlfriend had one of those.
I have seen a few of the 5-liter ones. There's actually a really nice one running around here. And that was actually it was an underappreciated car. I mean, it was just a little nicer on the inside than a Mustang, but you know, it just didn't sell as well. Yes, the Jelly Bean Bird.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
The chicken.
The Thunder Chicken. So I think that did they use this all the way up to the next generation?
Yep.
Or is it just
sure?
So up to 97 was still a Fox body, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I had a 95, and that was
actually I think they used it all the way through before my body style of 05, because the 99 was just a reskinned 94 to 97, 98 model.
Of the wait, no, we're talking Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Mustang.
Oh, now, okay. So see this Cougar. This is a very dark day for Ford. This was 1980. They came out with this body style.
I think they made 4-door Cougars too.
Yes, I was just about to say that. We owned a 4-door Cougar.
There you go.
With a 206 in it. The slowest car I've ever owned in my entire life. I mean, it took 17 seconds to do 0 to 60. 17. Jesus. I mean, literally, you waiting to get to 60 miles an hour. It was the slowest thing I've ever had. It rode real nice, but it was a plain Jane FBI car with no radio in it.
The slowest car I ever drove was a Murata around I want to think. Yeah, with the slant 6.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mid-80s.
Oh, my God.
You put your foot down, you're like, what? Wait, what? And you're waiting. It was the slowest car I ever drove.
Here we go. The Ford Granada, which looks just like the Cougar.
Yeah,
because, it is the same car.
Sort of looks like a BMW there. Yeah, Ford made like 1,000 cars that all look the same.
The same way. Yeah, 81 was a really dark time for them.
Yep.
Yeah. That's worse than the mid-70s, actually.
Yeah.
That's really malaise.
And everybody forgets that this car was a Fox body, too. The Continental.
Yep. The 4-door Continental along with the Tudor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 4-door Continental, the Mark 6, I believe, was also a Fox body.
No, the Mark 6 was too big. No, the Mark 6 was the same as the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
So this was the Continental. This was their idea to bring a smaller luxury car because the Versailles failed. So they brought this out. And, so they had that. And that was an okay car. I mean, this Continental was not bad. It rode nice. It had decent power.
I mean, I won't bore you like with the geek out on how the Continental nameplate really makes no sense from 1940 on. It's kind of like Dennis knowing E body, B body, D body, fog lamps versus turn signals. I literally know how the naming went back and forth and all sorts of oddities as far as the Continental name goes.
I think the late model Continentals were actually gorgeous. Like
they
the
were.
last ones
they were
that
great
they
cars.
made.
So
they were absolutely
They had a
beautiful.
32 valve V8 in it. Yeah.
So my initial thought was right. The 89 to 97 was a different chassis because it had the four-wheel independent. And they actually had the drive shaft was over the gas tank. That I remember.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Lincoln had the BMW turbo. Actually, I saw a Mark 7 with that, with the good BMW turbo engine in it, the diesel. Do you need a pair of chesticles to own a Fairmont? No, you just have to bring chesticles into a Fairmont.
I can't believe Frank said that. Like
I do. I actually believe it.
I don't know if I told you this before, but I remember going to I blew the timing chain in the Fairmont, and I went to the the mechanic actually lived next door to my parents anyway, and it was his son, and my dad knew his dad. The son had just moved in next door to us, and we took our cars there, and it got towed there, and the three of them are having a beer, and they're standing around talking, and I'm like, well, and I'm dying at this point. I'm going, what's wrong with my car? And he looks at me and goes, oh, that thing's toast. You blew the timing chain, the motor's shattered. It's done. They send it to the trash, right? And they all go back to talking like it's nothing. Like he just gutted me. I'm like, oh my God, like that's my first car, and it's done. And that's where like Frank says, you're seeing your chesticles in there all the time, and that's the only reason you really want it that bad. But I'm gutted, and they just went back to talking like it was nothing. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was like one of the worst moments of my life. And I'm just standing there, and they're all drinking a beer, laughing away, and talking about my piece of shit car that just blew up. I couldn't believe it.
Sucks. So we had these. My family had the LTD.
My uncle had one.
And we had we actually had the Marquis also.
They're all the same. Yeah, my grandfather had every one of those cars.
And there it is. The most famous one.
There it is.
The Mark 7. What an animal that car was.
Nice car.
So yeah, that's all your Fox buddies that aren't Mustangs.
In 87
and the first American car to have composite headlights.
Yes. Yeah, Ford actually was Ford fought hard for that.
They beat it. Ford, yep, they got it a year before the legal year. They got a year before to regular market, you might say. 84, I think, is when it happened.
Because Ford wanted to do that for years, and the government wouldn't let them because they're like, look, we can actually make a better headlight that would be more aerodynamic and actually be it'd be more efficient because we can use bulbs inside, and they would be actually it would just be better all around. And it took till the mid 80s for that to actually happen.
Oh, but yeah, Jesus. Like you, I think my grandfather owned every one of those Fox body, LTD, Mercury Cougar, Marquis, every single one of them. I think he traded them in every couple of years, and then my uncle would get his old one, and then I got whatever my uncle trashed up. That's how I got my Fairmont, because it was beat, but they were cheap, right? Like they weren't expensive cars. Yeah, it's almost like they were the K car of the time,
Absolutely. Oh yeah, they were the K car before the K car. Actually, Lee Iacocca is the one that helped develop that car.
Well, there you go.
And that's what kind of got him into bad graces with the Ford family, because they didn't want to have crappy little cars. They wanted to have their American sized cars, and that's what kind of got him pushed out. So yeah, he wanted to do K car at friggin' Ford. I don't think the Deuce would have gone over on that too well. God, everybody's talking about chesticles now in the chat. How nice. So let's start going a little more current news here. So we all know that First Brands is circling the toilet at this point. All things are looking pretty bad. There's also fallout. So this is one of the major lenders, Jefferies. So Jefferies was a lender for First Brands, and they seem to be in a little bit of trouble because this is Western Alliance. Western Alliance had also did a loan against First Brands receivables. So everybody has a part of the receivables for First Brands. So now there's going to be more lawsuits associated with this thing, not just including First Brands. So now financial companies are trying to find out who owns the money. And that is literally what this is all about. So the borrowers to which Western Alliance made loans to are special purpose entities owned by Point Bonita Master Fund, and assets consist solely of First Brands receivables and related products, the same products that Jefferies had also set up to give a loan on. Shortly before First Brands bankruptcy filing in September 2025, when Western Alliance was considering forbearance agreement, Western Alliance asked the Point Bonita Master Fund and Jefferies to guarantee the Western Alliance loan to the LAM. Those requests denied. Oops. Then Western Alliance agreed to forbear. In any event, Western Alliance was well aware that its counterparties were limited to LAM, Trade Finance Group, LLC, and in all the other groups together. They had no rights to the assets other than First Brands receivables, which are worth nothing. So now we have this fallout where all these $103 million has now disappeared. And now there's lawsuits trying to find out where this is all going to go away. I mean, this is really bad. I mean, and we haven't even seen the end of it, even though there's some movement forward. Yeah, the SN95 replaced the Fox body. Yes, they literally have now starting to try to figure out now bankruptcy courts what to do. Now it's been 6 months. It's been like 6 months, and it's still not. And there's still no clear path. And now we're getting new lawsuits because the lenders are now fighting each other. Because they literally don't know who owns the assets.
Yes.
This is why you can't buy brake drums. I mean, this is why you can't buy brake pads. Brake rotors. You can't buy, the calipers. You can't buy wiper blades. I mean, this is why, because this nonsense is slowing down the bankruptcy, and it makes it all poison. So yeah.
Well, didn't you talk about before? I guess the CEO or something hid a ton of money. Isn't there
billions
missing all over the place?
Billions of dollars are missing. Billions.
And he was hiding it and trying to get people to buy in when he's hiding a lot of debt and stuff like that too.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. This guy's a real piece of work. I mean. I've never seen somebody this crooked in my entire life. I mean, seriously, he makes Bernie Madoff actually look pretty straight. I mean, I'm dead serious because this is literally fraud on next level. And because I saw a couple stories on car dealers that made double or triple loans on cars. It was like, oh, it was $12 million, and I'm like, Piker, this guy stole billions.
Right. Yeah, that's a big hole in my beer. Exactly. Billions of dollars. I mean, 103 million alone lost. I mean, I don't think the government can be that well. They can be bad, but I mean that's up there. That's
you haven't seen the Canadian government yet.
Yeah, the Canadian government can make billions disappear.
Yeah,
it goes to Stellantis.
Yeah, so can Minnesota.
Yeah, we're paying for the new Stellantis factory to be built in the U.S. We gave them $16 billion, and now they're building the factory in the States.
Amazing.
It really is.
Let's see. We got a little stuff in the chat here. There's a guy in my area that has a lot of land. He hates everything Fox Body, so he sponsors an all Fox Body demo derby.
My Fox Body Mustang flew. Once I got a
motor
in it anyway, just because they were so light, right? I mean, you know, it only took 300 horsepower to make those things go, and
because they were around 3,000 pounds. So
a little less than that, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't take once you're light, it don't take a lot.
No.
So yeah, so this is the financial fallout that's happening here. This is from March 9th. So this is bad. So then this happened. I saw this today, and I was shocked. Active Dynamics buys First Brand's Walbro business for a paltry $50 million. So Walbro got sold for $50 million. I don't. This is the company that makes fuel pumps for General Motors. That's why this got bought.
Yeah,
Active Dynamics.
We talked about that. Right.
Active Dynamics is a brake company, I believe, because I was looking for brakes from for our friend's car, and they were made by Active Dynamics. So what does this really mean here? So bankrupt U.S. auto part maker First Brand said Tuesday it had agreed to sell Walbro business line to Canadian headquartered Active Dynamics Group. Oh, I'm so sorry. The company is selling business units to fund bankruptcy, restructuring, and address fraud claims.
Oh, look, we're saving jobs in the U.S. again.
Look at that, 600 jobs.
We're spending money to save jobs in the U.S.
Let's see.
We're so smart.
Walbro makes small engine fuel systems, carburetors, fuel pumps, ignition systems, and related parts. So General Motors was very, very happy to keep them around since they're using a lot of this stuff except for the carburetors. First Brands is still working to sell all this stuff off, including towing company, which I brought. Remember, Mike, last week I said they're the ones that make the tow hitches for Ford.
Yes.
And yes, they do. And Ford is very, very, very eager for Horizon to get sold because that's a big part of their business is tow packages on F-150s and 250s.
Absolutely.
And 350s.
Yeah, because they pay nothing for them and they charge a huge markup.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And plus, people need them. I mean, that's the other thing.
That's why, yeah. I mean, you're not getting one without it. Hey, please, you know it. Even these guys who never, ever tow anything, and they going out and buying a truck, they're never going to use it. It's just a showpiece. They're going to get the heavy-duty towing package on it just because it makes them feel good. You know, and they're never going to use it, whatever, but they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not spend $3,000 more on this $95,000 truck, right?
Yeah, well, at that point, it's just basically throwing some quarters at it. I mean, it's not a big deal. So, you know, I have the tow package. I have the max tow on mine, but I actually use it. I mean, I tow my Charger.
Yeah, but you bought your truck before they went up to $100,000 also.
Oh, yeah, I bought my car. I bought my truck $40,000 out the door.
Yeah, and what was it?
$40,000 out the door.
2016, I think you said it is, or something.
2016, they bought it $40,000. A Lariat with a lot of stuff in it.
Really good.
Spec that out now. Spec that out 10 years later.
It's $75,000.
Exactly.
It's $75,000. It makes me almost want to vomit.
The extra, and the extra 35 is costing you taxes too, right? Like you're paying extra taxes on that 35.
We only pay tax on the first 10,000 in Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Florida's great like that.
Yeah, we only pay.
That's why all these New Yorkers moved to Florida too, right? Don't they?
Yeah,
they can Howard that they get out on income taxes.
Yeah, they can leave. They can leave now. It's okay. You guys can go home now. Go fix your own state. Even though one of my best friends actually does live down here 6 months in a day. So there's that.
Hey, if I get the chance, man, I'm going to believe living down there 6 months minus a day because you have to come home for 6 months to make sure that you get your health benefits, right?
Yes,
like your medical care.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know a lot of people, and especially before COVID, that a lot of my parents' friends, boomers, and that who spend 5 months a year down there, right?
Yeah.
I know many. Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you spend the winter, it's the best time.
Oh, of course. They're not spending the summers down there. They're leaving.
It's a little hot down here.
They're leaving in November and coming back in April.
So basically, they're also talking about how all the brake parts are still closed. So we know that, and the Carter carburetor was part of Walbro's business, but Carter carburetor brand is not being sold yet. So that's still in limbo. You still can't buy those Carter classic fuel pumps for your old car now. So good luck. So yeah, there's First Brand. It's just basically a slow toilet circling now. I mean, it's gotten to this point where it's actually kind of you know you just wait for something positive to happen, and I guess that's positive. Something got sold at least.
Yeah.
So our big thing tonight, and I think we spend some time on this because Jesus, it's such a disaster. It's Chrysler, and we're going to talk about Chrissy Fuel just basically pulling the ripcord and leaving unannounced. But first, let's start and look at the incredible product that Chrysler is bringing us in 2027. Here it is.
That's nice.
The Chrysler product. There it is. The Chrysler product. Look at that. That's Chrysler right there. Wow. So this is the MSRPs now for this Chrysler product. It's one vehicle. So I like how they have different trims and make it seem like it's a different vehicle. Chrissy Fuel was managing a vehicle, one vehicle. And the Pinnacle, which is a stupid name. That's a stupid name for a car. It's going to be $55,000 for a minivan. Yeah.
And 1 year later, you can buy a pre-owned for $26,900.
Well, it's a Chrysler product, so yes, absolutely. So this is literally their entire lineup. They're now talking 2027, so they have no other product for next year.
Nope. No.
It's 8 months. It's like less than 8 months away. Is the 2027 is actually rolling out, and they have no product yet. And just think about this. Chrysler now has not had more than one product since 2023.
Ugh.
Just think about that for a second, because they had the 300 then. So now they've had one product.
So it's a brand with nothing.
It's a brand basically with nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. So they talk about all the packages. Look at this thing. Oh, good God, why?
What are they doing with the minivan then? They're just not going to build a minivan anymore because they don't make the Dodges anymore, right?
No, this is it. This is their minivan. This is their product. Yeah. This is it.
And to think they sold more minivans, I'm guessing, than anybody else ever when they first came out with that old Dodge minivan.
Yes.
And they just couldn't keep it going, I mean, does anybody really sell
last year?
Does anybody really sell minivans now, though? Or are they just like gone in the way of SUVs?
Chrysler sold 100,000 minivans last year, which, I mean, honestly, really isn't that big of a deal. It's not really a big market anymore. What?
The two major ones are the Honda Odyssey still and the Kia Carnival. Those are actually like I see. I mean, a few. I mean, not tons, but those are like I think the last. And the Sienna, I believe the Toyota Sienna is still made as well.
Yeah, they sell. Those are actually and the Honda. Yeah, the Odyssey. Yeah,
Odyssey. Yeah.
Vintage 76 Viper Green. Which powertrain? Yes, it does have the Pentastar 2.7. That absolute hunk of shit. And I will use that term. I will use that term for it because it is probably the worst engine ever put in a vehicle. This engine basically ends itself, and you don't even know it. It blows head gaskets, and but it doesn't blow them like a man. It blows them like a little wimp, and it just lets fluid seep into the cylinder, and then you basically get hydrolock and you blow the engine up. So
do you guys remember the first minivan you were ever in?
Yeah.
Like I still remember this guy, a friend of mine in grade school. I mean, I must have been 10 or 11 or something. And his dad bought a Toyota minivan. And at the time, it was pretty wild. Like it had all kinds of neat things like cup holders and stuff that you'd never seen before, And I still sort of remember it being kind of cool. It was obviously, underpowered and gutless and everything and ugly, but it was sort of cool at the same time.
I never rode in a minivan until my buddy bought one as a beater. I literally no one in my family ever had one. No one we ever knew had one. I've never rode in one until I was like in my 30s.
I remember when I was working at the Volkswagen Audi dealership, I sort of slid coming in, like it was pretty icy. We were washing cars or whatever, and the old man, the old German guy who owned the place, he drove like one of those Volkswagen vans, right? He called it the Vanagon or something.
Yeah, the Vanagon.
The Vanagon, yes.
So I slid a little bit and put it into the wall when I was coming in and just scratched the side of it. We worked on that thing for about an hour and cleaned it up and buffed it out so there was nothing in it. But I was scared shitless. Sorry, man. I was scared. He never found it either. I was shocked how we were able to buff that scratch out of there. But I remember putting it into the wall a little bit.
No,
So yeah, Frank the Tank, they had an 86 Chrysler minivan, and yes, I believe it was the Voyager.
That was my first one in mid-'80s. People we knew they were diehard Chrysler friends. They were rich too. I'm not being funny. They were very, very wealthy, and they loved, like, they had either a Fifth Avenue or what you name the 80s car. They bought like an 85 or 86, brand new, obviously, and that was just a kind of a different vehicle to be in because it held so many people and it was spacious. And we went to Epcot in a field trip, and it's a minivan with like you said, cup holders.
Yeah, cup holders were the big thing back then.
Yeah,
I got somewhere to put my drink, right? And it's in the back too. I think the big thing with that Toyota van was it had like a fan control in the back, so you could be sitting way in the back and you could control like a fan, and it had a cup holder. I forget what else. Maybe it had like a radio control too. But like you weren't allowed to touch it because his dad would drive and he'd go crazy on you, right? But it still had one in the back. It's just stuff you'd never seen before. So
no, you're right.
And then you started to get to realize that everybody who was driving a minivan was like a woman with 25 kids.
Yes.
And she's driving. She's driving at 45 miles an hour in the passing lane on the highway.
Well, that's
and
a Canadian
she's not
thing.
moving. She doesn't. Oh yeah, we gonna start this again? We've been through this before. What's that? 206? What? 206? Anyway, we've been through this. I told you that place we stayed in Florida. They actually had a book that said, "Don't expect Americans to move out of the passing lane because they won't." It says if you're going to sit behind them, you're better off just to go around them because and then it said they tend to get violent if you ride behind them. But anyway, so I'll still go back to that Top Gear where they drove across and they did a 3-day show about how Americans park in the passing lane. You guys are the worst, man. Americans are the worst I don't know what it is. Maybe they just haven't been taught. But I spent a lot of time driving in.
No, they don't. Actually, our system sucks because I'm very studious of the rules.
Enforce it.
Yeah, I'm very studious of the rules of the road, and it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
the basic lack of knowledge, and that is one of the big ones. Left lane is to pass on any type of road, if it's a highway. If it's a 3-lane road and it's like a through road, you don't stay in the left lane. That is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay in the middle too, and the left lane is for passing. And
that's right.
Yeah, it's pretty painful.
It used to be that way here, but we've had like a huge influx of immigration the last 10 years, and a lot of people just don't know that, right? I mean, when you're coming from places like India where the roads are just insane, like and then they pluck you on the road here, it's nuts. Like it's sort of all the driving rules have just gone right out the window in the last 10 years here. It's crazy. But I can tell you, I've done a lot more driving in the US than either one of you guys has done in Canada. That's for sure.
That's true.
I've only driven a little bit in Canada.
Where have you been in Canada?
When I was young, I was in Newfoundland, and actually in the early 2000s, actually late 90s, I went to Windsor a few times.
What would so basically you went to Detroit and you just crossed the river?
I went to the nicer part of Detroit.
Yeah,
the nicer part of Detroit, which is Windsor. Had great Italian meal. Even
I've never been to Newfoundland. Like I
Newfoundland
swear,
was
I've
wild.
never been to Newfoundland. What did you go there for?
my family went on a vacation. And I just went along, and I saw the Bay of Fundy, and that freaked me out. There's a 100-foot tide.
Yeah, I mean, I've dug for mussels in Bay of Fundy. Yeah, I've been to Nova Scotia, but I never went all the way to Newfoundland.
Yeah, no,
you guys went from New York City to there, right?
Yeah. So it wasn't as bad, but it was like, but yeah, but the tide thing was just all right. That blew my mind, and I just remember it not being that warm. I think it was like July, and it was pretty cold.
Yeah, it's not the same here. I mean, here, like I go down to the Caribbean in the summer to get away from the heat. I think I remember the last day of spring here because I gave it a screenshot. It was 104 with the humidity. And the last day of spring, not summer.
That's worse than Florida.
Wrong.
Yeah,
people don't realize that it gets hot everywhere.
Here. No, it's ignorant here. Like this is the hottest part of Canada, and we basically have two. We have 2 seasons generally. I mean, like I said, this year was crazy with the snow, but where I am, we have 2 seasons. It's around freezing or a little above and wet in the winter, and then in summer it's hot like you wouldn't believe. Like
well, it's funny you say that because I knew a guy in the service department when I worked at Ford. He was from Connecticut. He goes, "Look, we got 2 seasons up there: winter and construction. That's it." He said, "All this fall, but yes, and the beautiful leaves." He goes, "No. This is, I mean, Florida, yes, doesn't have real seasons, whatever, but he says no. He says it's literally freezing, do nothing, and then you have construction, and you're back to winter." He says there's not really some glorious middle of the road thing going on.
Yeah, we don't have
very similar.
We don't have any spring or any fall. Like most years, you go from using your furnace, and you'll use your air conditioning in the same week. I'm not even joking. Like it gets it's cold enough to use your furnace, and within the same week you've turned your air conditioning on, and that's it, right?
Wow,
it's crazy.
So,
but I mean, we have like where I am. It's great. It's a great fruit growing region. You know, like there's wine and fruit and all.
St. Catharines.
Yeah, it's close. That's close.
Yeah, so basically you're almost like what the Midwest is for us, because like Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska, where it basically is just nasty in the summer, and then in the winter it's colder than hell. Yep. I mean, it's just literally there's no in between. It's just nasty or cold.
And like I said, what's that, Fluno? Sorry.
Oh no, I was in Illinois. I was seeing my aunt. I went up. I surprised her for her 95th birthday in the suburbs of Chicago. And that's the thing is, they were saying how, and of course, it's landlocked. It was wet, muggy, this and that. They go, "Oh, our summer." They're like, "Oh, our summers were averaging over 100." I'm like, "Yeah, Florida can get bad, but
not that bad.
It's not that same type of stagnant heat." And I tell folks, we really only have like 2 to 3 months that may be unbearable, but then it really, like right now. Yeah, it's like maybe 70 something here, but it's perfect, you know, and it's going to cool down a little bit. But again, it's just a misnomer. I know people in New York that have had over 100-degree days.
Oh, the hottest day of my life was in New York City. I actually was working outside. It was 100 and I think it was like 105, but it was humid. So the heat index was over 130, and I got heat sickness. I was throwing up. Yeah. And I couldn't take in enough electrolytes not to be sick. So yeah, that was the hottest day. I mean, it was unbearably hot.
Like last year on my birthday, which is late June, I'm not joking. I was like just chilling, enjoying it. It was like 82 degrees and breezy with a little bit of clouds. I'm like, this is perfect. Meanwhile, Illinois, they're like, "Oh, it's like 98," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry." I mean, so you know, it goes all over.
But I mean, like if I'm here in the summer, a lot of people go. We have like a Hamptons sort of place, right, where people have. Well, they used to have cottages, and I mean now it's full of $10 million homes and more than that, right? And there's movie stars and whatever. And you used to, when I was younger, you'd go up there and have friends that have places. But whatever, you go up there and it's not that much cooler than it is here. I would honestly rather get and you're spending, I don't know how much money to rent a cottage for the week. Then you're cooking your own food, you're getting your own drinks, all this stuff. I would rather get in a plane and go down to the Mayan Riviera and go to a 5-star resort for a week and it's actually cooler there. I mean, it might be just as hot, but it's dry. It's right on the ocean. You got a nice breeze, and that's where you guys like. Florida is not wide, right? I mean, it's 200 miles across or whatever.
No, it's
right?
90. It's 90 miles across.
Well, there you go. So you're always getting a nice breeze.
It's always nice
in the humidity. So I honestly, in summertime, instead of going to a cottage or something up north, I go down to Mexico, man, or I go to Jamaica, or I'll go to whatever, and it's cooler than it is here.
Jamaica.
Kokomo.
I've been to all those except the only one I haven't been to is the Bahamas. Too many sharks in the water there, man. I don't want.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks there.
It's like swimming off of the east coast of Florida. I don't mind. I'd love going swimming. You know, Caladesi State Park by you guys is got one of the nicest beaches I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, that's absolutely gorgeous. But I remember when I was
I have to tell you, there's sharks there too.
Yeah, but not as many as the East Coast. When I was a kid, a friend of mine got dragged out by a riptide, and I went out and dragged him back in. I wrapped a shirt around him, pulled him back in, and they flew over the next day. And we didn't realize it was the shark migration time of the year, and they were showing all the sharks in the water. And we were close to the pier in Daytona, so I know exactly where we were swimming. And he was out past the end of the pier.
Plastic Florida, right there.
But they're not. When they're migrating, they're not eating, thankfully.
Yeah, well, I must have swam past 200 sharks on the way out and 200 on the way back.
They're fine. Yeah, so here we go. Here, Frank the Tank, because he hates humidity, and he has this question: do classic cars get more money coming from a dry climate like Arizona? Is there any depreciation in value if a car comes on a coast from a greater chance of rust? Yes and no. Basically, an out west car will just have better value because it's the body's better. I mean, that if a rust-free car is a rust-free car,
but the interior could be cooked.
Oh, the interior and the paint will be destroyed. Any type of rubber will be destroyed, but the body itself will be phenomenal. I had that with the convertible I have because that was a Nevada car, and the cooling fan actually broke on it. Like the plastic fan just broke from dry rotting.
Right,
and that's what happened. But there's not an ounce of rust in that car. It's a convertible without an ounce of rust in it.
Cars here after 20 years are toast. If they've been used, if they've been driven, they're outside. They're just rotting away. Yeah. Guaranteed. If they make it 20 years, you're lucky.
See, 2 Diesel Larry's up in New Jersey. I collapsed during the summer from heat stroke. Yeah, it's brutal up there. Brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those black tip sharks. Yeah, that's the migration. But they don't see the good thing is they don't eat when they migrate. So that's kind of a positive. Now we have great white sharks now that are right off of Clearwater. They've sighted 2 of them. Yeah.
Nice.
But the water's cold. It's only like 60 degrees right now. So
I've spent probably at least a couple 100 hours snorkeling in the Caribbean. Jesus. I've never once seen a shark.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
Like not even a sand shark or whatever. I've never seen a shark.
Damn. Huh. Well, so let's get on to the big news here. The Minivan Mom has left Chrysler and Alfa Romeo. I forgot she was running Alfa. Did anybody else know she was running Alfa? She was in charge of three vehicles. So
and what were her qualifications before she got this job?
I don't even know. I think she was at General Motors. I think Chrissy Fuel was. Hold on, let me hold on. Let me just look up Chris Fuel here. I'll do a Google search on her because let's see.
DEI hire?
Yeah, seems that way. Let's see. Past positions. Because honestly, let's see. She was, oh God, they removed her already. She was the head of RAM. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Ford. Oh my God, she came from Ford. She was with Adient, Johnson Controls, and Ford.
What did she do at Ford?
Got coffee. I don't know. Yeah, they don't really say. It does not really say what she did there.
Alfa Romeo's got some sweet cars, man.
They look nice. They're garbage, but yeah, they look nice.
Yeah, but they motor too. If you get the one with
if they actually work.
Yeah. I get it. It's just like Maserati. I mean, they don't.
Yeah, any Italian car, if it runs, you're ahead of the game. Let's see. Through her career, she was breaking barriers. Wait, this article's hilarious.
Oh God.
You're breaking barriers. How to destroy a car company in 4 short years. Where the hell? It doesn't say what she did at Ford. Obviously, it wasn't anything important that she did at Ford, because I can't find anything saying that she was doing anything at Ford. Because I'd never heard of her before she became head of Chrysler. Never heard of it. And then she was the head of, and she was also Alpha. So, oh, pardon me. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see. Oh wow. Yeah, I can't find anything of any importance or anything wonderful as she has done.
Well, that's the thing. If she had done something, you would be able to find it, right? So
anything. Yeah. No, she's done nothing. All right, so let's go back to this incredible story of the person who did not know that the Halcyon project that's behind her was canceled last year when she made the announcement in January, and her team 3 days later said, "Oh wait, no, that's not happening. It's on hold." So yeah, they really respected her. Jeremy Clarkson is a fan of Alpha.
So do you think there were a couple guys laughing when she's making this announcement because they know,
absolutely,
they set her up to look like a fool?
Oh,
right?
I did a video on it. It was embarrassing. She literally came out, made this grandiose thing about the Halcyon, it'll be coming out like with soon, and then they go, yeah, it's all been it's just been shelved.
And what was the Halcyon? Was it like a mid-sized sports car?
It's this electric appliance. See this electric appliance behind her?
Yeah, I can't really see what it is though. It looks like a 2-door, so it's a sports car.
Yeah, it's like a sporty thing, electric appliance, and yeah, that was their great hope, was this electric appliance. I don't know how, but sure, whatever. I like this article. It actually didn't even get updated yet. It left Chrysler with Pacifica and Voyager. No, actually, it's just Pacifica. So she came in. They had 3 products. They had 3 products, and she leaves. They have 1. That's impressive, actually, to consider the car company still.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that they're just going to put like Chrysler and Dodge down for a few years? I think they should a concept with it, and then
I honestly think they should just do like they do the horses that break their legs, just take it out back. And please just end the misery. Please just end the misery at this point.
I mean, just like stop. You said though, that they do have cars that they could bring here, and I think that they could be useful in this market, but they just can't seem to get it together to bring them here, right?
No, and so as we read this article, you'll see that they're doomed. It's the end of a relatively brief and uneventful era at Chrysler. Effective immediately, Chris Fuel is leaving her post as CEO. She leaves behind a company largely turned into a minivan brand. Largely, it is a minivan van with several fits and starts over the last few years. Dodge CEO Matt McAleer will now take over Chrysler along with Alfa Romeo and other brand. The other brand Fuel was stewarding with its 2 products. So let's
have 5 products.
Yeah, so let's talk about Matt McAleer. There's nothing great about this announcement. Matt McAleer is the guy that was championing the Charger EV. That's who this guy is. The second worst selling car in Chrysler's 100-year history. Second worst selling car in their 100-year history.
What was the worst?
Matt McAleer's. It was the Chrysler TC. That horrible. They sold 7,500 of them in 2 years.
I don't even remember that car.
It looked like a LeBaron.
Okay.
But it had a hard top with a hole in it with a little porthole.
That would burn the leather.
Yeah, that would actually set the car on fire. The porthole. So yeah, McAleer was this guy that he was pushing hard that electric appliance that sold 7,500 copies last year. 7,500 of them for a major car company. 7,500 models. That's it. That's all of those charger appliances. I mean, literally, Matt McAleer was there when they introduced the Hornet and championed the Hornet, which basically got killed in the middle of its run. They literally just stopped making it and said, "Yeah, that's enough."
Oh man, and you know what? I think the Hornet was positioned to be a really good selling vehicle. I think it could have done very well. It's just they wanted way too much for it.
You
If
know
they would
why?
have put a realistic price on it, it would have sold. Like I told you the story about how
Yeah.
I was going to buy one.
But
And
the
I'm like,
thing is,
no, not $63,000.
but
No.
but Canada, this is the thing. Remember, that is just an Alfa Romeo that's rebadged. And because it was Alfa Romeo underpinnings, you had to charge Alfa Romeo prices, even though it wasn't an Alfa Romeo. And honestly, that thing, first of all, Hornet was never a Chrysler product, ever. It was an AMC product. It's a stupid name. But second of all, you're right, though. If they had made something that size, put an American drivetrain in it, just a basic drivetrain, nothing stupid, a front-wheel drive, 4-cylinder drivetrain, and maybe even put a hybrid 4-cylinder front-wheel drive hybrid, it would have been fine. You could have sold it for like what the Honda sells the CRV for in the mid-30s and sell them all day long.
Well,
right?
The crazy part is now you can get one for $40K in Canada because they're desperate to sell them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they have a 300-day supply.
Yeah.
So if you wait long enough,
60.
Yeah, so if you wait long enough, you could probably get one real cheap.
They're cheap now.
Get them even cheaper. They gotta get rid of 40.
them. The government in its infinite wisdom in Canada just put out another thing saying they're going to give $5,000 for any electric vehicles or plug-in hybrids. So 40 turns into 35,000.
Exactly. 20-cent Motors. She could have restarted the 63 Valiant and put the Alpha Transaxle in the back end. Sure, why not? It's better than what they're making. Everybody wanted the retro look with better stuff. Yes, that would have worked. I
was gonna say, I still think the Hornet is the best looking small SUV on the market too. It's a good looking car. I mean, when you're looking at ugly stuff like the Escape and the RAV4 and stuff that actually sells, that Honda, whatever they call it,
the CRV,
they sell like crazy, right? Yeah. And they're ugly as sin. They're all ugly. The only one that was decent looking was the Hornet, and they just wanted like an exorbitant amount of money for it. They screwed it up so bad it wasn't even funny. I think, like you said, if they would have made it a normal one at a decent price, they could have sold tons of them.
Well, in Ford's wisdom, they got rid of the Escape now, and
that's stupid too.
Yeah, and the Corsair, which was actually third in line from the Lexus NX and the Volvo, which, I mean, that's pretty good ranking for basically a luxury Escape. And they said, no, let's just stop this.
Absolutely. Like Ford's making the dumb things. Like they've been doing dumb stuff forever. They finally had, like, they were selling a lot of those Fusions when they canceled it off.
Absolutely. They were great cars, actually.
The hybrid power, the ones with the hybrid powertrain were indestructible.
Yes,
they were actually great cars.
And you got 30-something miles to the gallon with that car. Easy.
You get 40.
You
get 40. Yeah.
All day long without even trying.
And you could go up to 40 miles an hour on electric, where most hybrids would stop like around 25. That's actually was a huge, again, I don't know why I sold a few of those back in the day, and they were great cars. They were really unaffordable.
Because Farley is the worst CEO of all the car companies. He literally is incompetent. He literally has great products and doesn't know how to bring them to market.
Yeah, with the last of the Fusion plugins, like the plug-in hybrids, you could drive, 70 miles an hour on the highway just on electric, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you didn't have a lot of range, but you had enough. If you were just going around town, you could certainly get what you were done and come home and plug it back in.
Perfect for what it is. That's what it's made for.
So yeah, that and they're supposedly bringing the sedans back because there's actually demand for them. No kidding,
Of course
really?
there is.
I mean, I mean, it's almost like it was almost like an epiphany to this guy, and I'm like, this is the problem that Chrysler has right now. Chrysler, the brand, and then Stellantis as the company, they have no idea how the hell to make a regular sedan for people. They have no idea what they're doing. They literally have become. They literally have no idea. They literally think that a 4-door Charger thing with almost 500 horsepower is what people want. That gets 16 miles to the gallon. On what planet? On what planet? Who wants that car?
Well, there's lots of criminals that want to steal them and burn out in them all day long. But
absolutely,
that's
the easiest car in the world to steal, a Stellantis product.
Yeah, next to a Kia.
Well, yeah, true. But you could steal the Stellantis products right off the lot, right from the factory. They lost like 10 Hellcats once. They lit off right off the production lot, just gone.
Yep.
Never to be seen again. Let's see. Oh, now we have a whole sidebar on the Challenger. The new Challenger was an okay car, except it was gigantic compared to the old ones, and that was the problem with the cars. And it was an enormous car.
Yeah,
it ran too long. It was an antique.
Yeah.
But by the time they finally killed it off, it was an antique.
It's getting long in the tooth. There's no
very
doubt.
long. Yeah, you know what, Frank? Though Frank's right here. This is what happens when, no offense to the ladies, you have a woman making decisions on how to design and sell a car to a majority male consumer base that she knows nothing about. Bingo. This is literally like the movies. It's like TV. The person in charge doesn't know the customer.
Yeah. Can you just leave that up and we'll cut all the mics and just call it a day?
Call it a day. This is literally mic drop right here.
Yep. There you go.
It is so on there. It is so on point because they literally did not. Chrysler is a luxury brand, even though Fiat basically brought it down from a luxury brand. Actually, the Iacocca did. But nevertheless, it was never elevated back to a luxury brand like Lincoln, like Cadillac, like Mercedes, like BMW. It was never brought back to that level. And the easiest thing they could have done is just make a rear-wheel drive car with a V8 in it and make it $90,000. And guess what? It would sell. That's how you do Chrysler. It's real simple. You make it a really super luxury car, high quality. And you can actually do that. And it will sell. Because look at Cadillac. Cadillac doesn't sell anything cheap.
No. I always liked the 300s. I liked the 300s. I know a lot of people didn't. I didn't mind them right from the time where they had the Mercedes 3.5 in them until modern day. I actually liked the 300. And I'm not a Chrysler guy. But I never had a problem with them. Even those ugly spaceship ones that came before the Mercedes ones, the rounded ones.
Oh, those
I thought they were okay. They're ugly to look at, but they were okay to drive.
Oh,
LH.
By the way,
yeah,
I want to interject. I got to interject something. I'm glad you brought that up, G Canada, because I was at Amscott. Not for me. It was for work. I was getting a money order.
And
no.
Sure you were, buddy.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
there's no shame in this.
It's like telling my wife I was at the strip joint for
business.
So in the parking lot was a first generation Chrysler Concorde, and figuratively and literally, I steered clear of that. Okay, because it was not in the best of shape. But the fact it was on the road, and suddenly I'm 18 again, looking at this car, and no, I'm gonna agree with you. I thought the LH models were great looking cars. I thought they were spacey. They were completely different looking than the K car, especially growing up in that era, seeing all those boxy cars. I thought the LH models, I wanted an Intrepid back, especially second generation. I was like in my early 20s. In fact, the car I wanted back then, and I even actually went and drove one. I know it was basically a Mitsubishi, the 98 Sebring Coupe. That to me, I thought was a sharp looking car. It was a two-tone emerald green and gold. It was two-tone leather.
Right.
It was beautiful. Now, all these years later, God knows how long it would have lasted quality-wise. You don't see any.
Yeah,
but
no.
they made sharp cars. They were good-looking cars, regardless of now looking back at the quality control. They were on the roads a lot because they looked different. They actually were a good-looking vehicle and spacious.
I agree.
So Tony Imperial 7175 used to sell new Fords. He sold the shit out of those Fusions. The base 2.5 was the best, and the EcoBoost, the 2.0, was the most reliable. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was not a hard car to sell. That was not a hard car to sell.
I gotta say, I think that the hybrids were more reliable than the 2.0 EcoBoost. But I mean,
even that's so though. I mean, just in general, they were a pretty reliable car.
Yeah, I know.
Hell, Lost Leader 5-speed was 15.9.
Jesus.
So let's kill it off.
With your basic features.
Yeah, and the thing with the LH, they had a lot of electrical gremlins in them. They had transmission gremlins in them.
Sure,
and they had some air conditioning gremlins. And you got to remember that was based on a Renault design that AMC was going to come out with.
True, right.
And Iacocca squashed it till he was ready to go out the door. Squashed that car. He did not want that car to come out because he wanted his K cars to keep going.
But just for a driver, like it was a decent driver. You know what I thought was a really nice driver? You guys are going to make fun of me because I said this to a cousin of mine a little while ago. He called it a minivan, but the Voyagers.
That is a minivan.
No, okay.
That's a minivan. The
what
Voyagers
was the station wagon called? The Dodge station wagon.
Oh, the Magnum.
Journey. No, sorry.
The Journey's maybe in Canada, but here that was a minivan.
The Journey is like a crossover.
Yeah, the Journey was a crossover.
Okay.
Yeah. That was one. But I like the Magnum wagons too.
Magnum wagon. I almost bought one.
They screwed up with that car. They really screwed up with that because Mercedes didn't know what to do with it, and then they just kind of just let it die. But honestly, that car, literally marketed properly, could have easily be sold to families because you could put a full sheet of plywood in the back of that car.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They were nice cars. I love them. And there are no. I mean, you've been to Europe, Dennis, so you know.
Yep.
But in Europe, there's lots of wagons, and we
absolutely
don't have any wagons.
Oh my God.
We have no wagons here. Like, can you think of any wagon anybody's selling now? They're all crossovers. They're SUVs.
BMW sells 3 Series wagons still.
Yeah. What do they cost?
At probably mid-40s.
No, that's not too bad. I thought it would be
it's not terrible. It's a 3 Series. It's not going to be that expensive.
But yeah, I mean, we don't have many wagon, choices, right?
No, and then the top end, of course, is the M5 wagon. That's $150,000.
Yeah, their Cadillac V wagon was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, those are really nice.
Yeah.
And you could get the Magnum with a Hemi motor in it too.
Yes, you could. Yeah. The original 5.7 in it.
Yeah.
Which is more than enough.
I was looking at one 22 years ago. Hard to believe. I was between a Mustang in 05 or the Magnum, and I'm a drummer, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a great car. And I was looking at the mid-range one, I think with the 3.5 in it. I think it was because you had 2.7, 3.5. I wasn't going to go Hemi, but it was. I remember it was a sharp. It was pretty beefy. I mean, and again, though, you can tell there's none on the road because they fell apart, I guess. Yeah,
they did. But, I still see more than not here, but yeah, they had the typical Chrysler quality. I mean, that was the problem. They had that lack of quality control, which killed that car. Here we go. 4339 JK, always coming with it. LH was a home run. Yeah, it was. And that's what's so bizarre because you knew it was going to sell well. It was so bizarre that Iacocca squashed that car from coming out. It was absolutely amazing. It was Bob Lutz that pushed for it.
So if I can have a minute, I did want to talk to you guys about Mustangs because I did a little bit of research.
Yes.
And I've had to go on. I've sort of been in comments when I've thrown these at you. And I know Fluno said about the Roush. We talked about Roush versus the Shelby. Okay.
Shelby, right.
So okay. So you said in the beginning the Roush cars were just standard, base model GTs, right? and that was
Correct.
that was weight savings. Okay, and Dennis, I know you looked at Shelby versus
actual people selling them,
Roush.
right?
Okay, but the difference is that a real Roush car, so there's stage 1, 2, and 3. So when you're looking at a Shelby versus a Roush, you need to look at a Roush stage 3 versus a Shelby. Like, you can't include all the other Roush cars. And a lot of people have a Roush supercharger, or they have Roush exhaust, or they have Roush.
Oh no, I'm talking about a Roush stage 3. That's what I was comparing, apples to apples.
Right, yeah.
A Roush
stage 1 is built fat stripes. That's it.
Yeah, that's not
a Roush 3 is built in Livonia, Michigan. Okay, they can't be faked. They have 3 number plates on them, which says yours is 200 out of 600 built this year, right? You can go on the Roush website. You know exactly. So I remember you saying, Dennis, that you could get faked into buying one that wasn't. You can't, because they have that. They have a Jack Roush signature. They have 3 number plates in the car. One's under the hood, one's in the door sill, and I forget where the other one is. But if they were built in Livonia, Michigan, then they were that. And when you look at the mid 2000s, like a Shelby versus a Roush, every single Roush is a better handling car than a Shelby, guaranteed. They have the Shelbys have the heavier motor hanging over the front. They have a little more horsepower, but the Roush car is better handling without a doubt. And I pulled up a couple here because I thought these were close. So I've got a 2011 Shelby, right?
Do you need me to remove my thing from there so you can show it, or?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay, fine.
Well, I'll make it quick though. So there's a special edition Shelby. It's one of 2. It was used at a whatever autographed by Carroll Shelby. It's a 2012. It's got 5,000 miles on it, and they're asking 77,000. Okay, so, and I'm looking at a Roush stage 3, and it's 9 of 15. So both very low limited edition, right? And this is a 2012. The Roush is $10,000 less than the Shelby, which is exactly what the difference was when they were being sold originally. So I would think that the Roush holds up almost as well as the Shelby. The Roush is going to handle better than the Shelby no matter what, and the Shelby's going to have a little more power. The one thing that the Shelbys have over the Roush, especially back then, is the Shelbys use the Tremec transmission.
Yes.
And Roush never changed the transmissions. A lot of them are those.
They put a short throw shifter on it. That's for sure. Very nice.
They put a short throw shifter on it, but they left that transmission in, which is, and now it's slipping my mind. So that's where, and a lot of them were 5 speeds. Like when you're looking at the mid 2000s, the Shelby versus the Shelbys were all 6 speeds. And the Roushes were, but I'm telling you, for price, when you go one to the other, for price, they're almost identical when you're looking at the same level. Okay.
No, I understand that. I was just saying that if you were buying the Roush as what was called a high-end tuner car, and you're exactly right about the 427, the stage 3, the P51, those were all truly, you're exactly right. I'm just saying from the fact that it starts. So when you got in the interior of one, I'm a big interior. I want features. So if you got in an interior of a Roush like this, even a 427, you're going to get the base Mustang gauge cluster, and they're going to slap on some extra fake carbon fiber, whatever they're doing. Maybe unreal. I don't know. But all I was saying is that when you start with that base Mustang, you're losing a lot of the features that came with the GT Premium, which I own. In fact, my 5-speed was a Tremec as well. So it was a good transmission on even the GT or Roush with that. I love that. Don't get me wrong. That notch shifter, I'm not knocking the car itself. I drove many of them. But I'm just saying for dollars to donuts, that my point was I want something that starts like a loaded model. And before, I'm looking at just 2 lane gauges and plastic galore and nothing tweaked out. And then Roush customized it, and the VIN still relates to a base GT Mustang. That's all I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason that it relates to a base GT is because they want to cut as much weight as possible, right? The other one was the Borg Warner T5.
Yeah, the Borg Warner.
I had a T5. Yeah, I had a T5. That's what it was. You're right. I apologize. That's right.
Yeah. So
But sorry, anyway, I know
Oh,
I went
okay.
off on
You're
a bit
right,
of a
though.
tangent
Oh,
there,
I remember the
but-
nameplate, the number plates, absolutely. Just like Saline, absolutely.
Yeah.
and you can still put in a Getrag. That was the other transmission.
Everybody.
So the Getrag is a very inferior transmission to a Tremec, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Getrag 5-speed is inferior to the Tremec 5-speed, just like the Getrag 6-speed is inferior to the Tremec 6-speed. But whatever. But Shelby
believe my
always put
V6
those good Tremec transmissions in every year.
I believe my V6 Mustang had a Getrag in it, I think, is what that came with. Because my GT had the T5. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. But yeah, you cannot get fooled when you buy a Roush car, because all you got to do is call. You can go right on the Roush thing, plug in the VIN number, and it'll tell you the year, if they made it, what it was, the whole bit, right? So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Oh, that's fine. No.
Because I thought,
and you're right, though, because anybody, and I remember people buying stage ones with Go Fast stripes, and you're paying like $8,000 more for literally, at least stage two had better braking, and it had the short throw shifter in it. But literally a stage one, I could have done that myself.
Yeah, Go Fast stickers.
Go Fast
stickers. And air filter.
And more weight on no extra power, because it had all the other stuff all over it.
Yeah, but they do put their own seats in it too, right, Roush? When you're doing a stage 3 or whatever,
so
you're getting the good Roush seats. Anyway, sorry, Dennis, go ahead.
So back to Chrysler and Prissy Fuel bowing out at current event here. So Prissy Fuel left. We have Matt McAleer, who has done dick all at Dodge, because Dodge has 2 products. So Matt McAleer is now running over 5 products. I mean, he's got to be tired. I mean, God, Farley at Ford's got to go, damn, man, you need to relax. I mean, because how many products does Ford have? Like 18? I mean, it's... So Fuel joined Stellantis in 2021 to leave Chrysler during a precarious moment of the brand. The 200 had just died. The 300 sedan was nearing retirement, and the brand's future lineup consisted entirely of a minivan. And the years followed, not much change. So she was brought in at a very precarious moment and failed miserably. Cool. Under Fuel's leadership, Chrysler ultimately shrank to a 2-model lineup, both minivans. The 300 entered production in 2023. Think about that for a second now. 2023, 3 years later, they still don't have another vehicle. Congratulations. She, to her credit, I love this. The strategy kept the lights on. Does
that mean product in my driveway than the Chrysler does?
I think that was the $16 billion that the Canadian government.
Yeah, exactly. She actually ripped off the Canadian government $16 billion, and that's how she kept on floating. The long-promised Chrysler revival never materialized. The airflow concept, which is now as dead as a doornail, a crossover. The Halcyon is dead. It turned to diddly squat. Not only Stellantis entrusted Fuel with the Ram brand, and that worked really well. She was head of Ram 2 years ago. And how'd that work? Oh, that's right. Ram had one of its worst sales years ever.
Weren't they having problems with the 5.7 too that were coming out in those years?
They still do. They never fixed
some issues with the top end, right?
Yep. The rockers, they still have problems with it. I mean, and they've never fixed the engine after 20 years. It's never been fixed. I don't know what's going on there. So now she also read Alfa Romeo, and their sales tumbled 36% last year. She did a really bang up job. I mean, this is pretty impressive. She destroyed not one company, not 2 companies, but 3 companies. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Now but the crazy part is now they're gonna give her millions to go away.
Yep.
She just quit.
Her exit package.
I don't know if they're going to give her that, though. She just quit. I mean, she just up and quit. So I don't know. Do you get it if you up and quit?
Well, you might negotiate it. It depends on how you're trying to get out, right? But usually they won't leave unless they're getting paid because they're under contract. So they're not just going to give up those millions of dollars to walk away for nothing. No. She'll get something. She'll get a golden handshake. They all do.
Yeah. True. So let's see. Now this is McAleer, who has been a Fiat guy. for 13 years. I don't know if that's good or bad. Oversaw the launch of the new Charger electric appliance bomb. I don't know if I put that on my resume. I don't know if I'd put this on my resume. I think I'd be leaving this off. I also wouldn't have my picture of me next to it. I would literally, I'd put any other car next to me. I would Photoshop something else in. Dude, really?
Even Epstein.
I'd rather have a picture of standing next to Epstein than next to this car. 100%.
Wow, that's low, dude.
This car sold 7,500 copies last year. 7,500 copies.
Hey, even bad news is good news.
Exactly. So this guy, he worked at Dodge, Maserati, and Chrysler. Wow. He launched Pacifica in 2016, so he's totally set for it. The timing also lands during a wider round of executive reshuffling at Stellantis under a CEO, Antonio Filosa. Since then, the company installed a new chief financial officer and has changed up sales teams already, and it's shaky North American operations.
Shaky.
The most important operations that this company has is North America, and they can't get it right. Chrysler celebrated its 100th anniversary last year, but the brand sells only 2 minivans, actually 1 now. The confirmed step to refresh Pacifica expected for 2027. Everything's theoretical, and here's the theoretical car. Actually, it was a 4-door. CG Canada, look at this thing. Look at this appliance. Oh, he's not even there. Look at this appliance.
I'm here, man. I just when I have a little drink of water or something, I mute the mic out so you don't have to
so this is that Halcyon. That's it right there.
That's what I'm saying. She was the one who nailed the Canadian government because that's what they were supposed to build in Canada. It's electric. Yeah, right? Fully electric. They were supposed to build this in Canada. She was the one who suckered the Canadian government into giving her all that money.
So yeah, she helped get Chrysler all that money for nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's not for nothing. They're using it to build a factory in the U.S.
Belvedere,
now, remember?
The Belvedere plant where they're going to build trucks.
Yeah.
Well, why doesn't the government take it back? I mean, how does that even work?
They're Canadian. Come on, Fluno. They're Canadian. You can't take anything back.
No, they said it was going to be for electric vehicles, so that's all that matters.
Oh, that was a closer.
Yeah.
But G Canada, I read in the news that the Canadian government sat down and said that area where that plant was supposed to be could never be used for anything except car manufacturing. They literally had to specifically say that Chrysler can't or Stellantis can't put apartments there. Literally, they were going to put I'm not kidding. I wish I was joking. Stellantis was actually going to build apartments on that site.
Yeah, but that's something that we actually need because even though they've increased our population by like 10% in the last 12, 13 years, they don't have any place to put everybody. They're not building houses and especially apartments. If you were going to do that, it would actually benefit the society.
But your government went no.
Ugh, it's just ridiculous, man.
They went no. So literally,
it helps us all. Like if you owned a house, 20 years ago, it's worth 4 times what you paid for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But still, for anybody, I feel bad for people trying to get into the market now. Like it's impossible, right? It's literally impossible.
It is. It's impossible. Market. It wasn't all right. Tony Imperial. I'm kind of confused. What is it? Wasn't her strategy? What wasn't her strategy? Destroying the entire brand, having it down to 1 minivan, having a concept car that never could get built. I'm trying to. Which part wasn't her strategy? Getting rid of the Hemis and the V and the Rams, or was it making Alfa Romeo basically unreliable garbage that no one wanted? I'm trying to think what part wasn't her strategy.
Well, it's like Frank said before, you got people in charge that don't know what people want. It's like they don't even understand the market. It's happened at Chrysler and all these offshoot brands, and now it's happened at Ford too. I mean, to get rid of every sedan was just ludicrous.
Well, that's Harley.
How many sedans did they sell a year between fleet sales for town cars? And Crown Victorias for taxis and police cars. And cops love them. And you could put mile after mile after mile on these cars. And they didn't break down. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we're done selling those.
Yeah, I mean, Farley made some of the worst. Like I said, he literally found ways to lose when he should have been winning. Ford should be absolutely having the largest market share in the United States right now.
Yeah,
if they had kept their sedans, they literally would have the largest market share. But instead, they just became a truck company. And even with that, they screwed that up. I mean, they brought a Ranger back, and it's only a 4-door. I'm like, no. And in South America, they're bringing the 2-door Ranger back. South America gets the 2-door Ranger.
I mean, when look what they did with the Maverick. When the Maverick first came out, everybody wanted one. Everybody. Yeah. There was waiting lists. Like they opened it for.
Who screwed more people, Dodge with the new electric appliance or Epstein?
You tell Tony down. You tell Tony to go through the 6,000 pages and let us know.
I think Epstein may win that one.
Oh God! Wow.
People
they only sold 7,500 Dodge appliances.
There you go.
Well, here's my theory on Ford. Okay, this is just my theory. And hate to say it, American manufacturers as well. As one, everyone's been convinced. Like I said, I have my reasons of thinking. Like we talked about the hybrid and city cars and electric. That has a niche. But my theory is that okay, you have successful vehicles like I've owned an Elantra. I mean, there's a Civic. There's all these other small cars that have been around forever. And my theory, whether it be Kia, Hyundai, Toyota, they still sell a lot of these smaller cars that everybody loves. My theory is that in typical, I hate to say it, American hubris, okay.
Yep.
Bigger is better. And okay, that's fine here and there, but hey, let's just keep making these trucks that have massive profit margins. We don't have to actually follow EPA guidelines like with cars. Yep. So our own government has made it possible like this, and keep promoting and basically saying this is what you need. Let these other little let Hyundai and Kia do their little thing over here. When people still do want them, but they decided, hey, we're just going to make trucks and SUVs that are most people somehow can't even drive, and now with thanks to certain things going on in a week and 2 days, gas is $1 more a gallon. Okay, and we won't get into that. But I'm still happy to get 38 on the highway and about 26 in the city with my crossover. But I digress. It's like I said, bottom line is the two main factors. One, the proliferation of this. Everyone's going to love an appliance. No matter the size of the cost, we're all going to love one for no matter what reason. And two, hey, Americans love their big vehicles, so let's just make these. And on top of it, not matter them at $25,000, we'll jack them up to over $100,000. Some of these things, like when I sold some F-150s, a Lost Leader, it was a base work truck, could be $12,900. That's fine for what it is. Or we got stray cats fighting. Okay. Turf war. But that's my thing on it personally, and just like GM is that they want to keep making these larger vehicles for their profit margin, and they can go around EPA fuel regulations and even safety. Yeah.
Well, GM used to get on the with the launch of the Maverick because they did screw that up.
Yeah, they could have sold. Like I remember when they first launched the Maverick, and they were only hybrid at that point, right?
Yeah,
and they got they had the same 2-liter powertrain and the continuous CVT transmission and the small battery pack, and they were getting 40 miles a gallon easy in the city and on the highway, and they'd open it up for like a day. And all the slots would be filled in a day. They could have easily sold 4 or 5 times the amount.
Yep.
Because remember when it came out, it was supposed to be $20,000 or just over $20,000, right?
Yes.
And Ford just didn't want to make them. And it goes back to what Pluno's saying, because they don't have the massive margins on them.
The other part, there's a second part to that though. It was the EVs taking away the ability for them to make stuff. Because they just wrote off $19 billion, and that was a lot of the development, and all that money and time and space was used to make those appliances that no one wanted, like the Mustang Mach-E, which they lose $60,000 each time they sell one, or the completely failed F-150 Lightning thing. I mean, they could have had more capacity to make that Maverick if they weren't wasting time on these EVs, because EVs are very labor intensive because of the way they're made.
But these are hybrids. This is actually an example of how making an EV and a gas together actually works. Like,
yes,
this is a prime example of how it's great. Because if everybody drove a hybrid, that's driving cars and smaller vehicles, gas wouldn't be as pricey as it is now.
Actually, it would go up more.
You think so?
Yeah, because they actually said that we actually are using less gas right now, and so what happens is that the lot of in the United States, a lot of the price of gas is actually the taxes from your local and the federal government. They actually make more on a gallon of gas than the oil company does by miles. It's not even close.
Oh,
they make many more, and those taxes keep creeping up because they're selling less gas. So it's like that old thing with the electric company. Hey, we'll give you this to save you electricity. Oh crap, we need to raise your rates. We're sorry.
Right.
Well, basically, prices in Canada are right around what they are in California. So if you look at California prices, and we have, the best part is Canada has the 4th largest oil reserves in the world. You look at Saudi Arabia or something, you think they're charging $6, $7, $8 a gallon there? Of course not, right?
No, of course not.
But when you're saying that, I kind of see that. I mean, I live in between two of the biggest lakes in the world, right? And they are not far from me on either side. Okay, I got Niagara Falls right there. Like, I can spit Niagara Falls. And so I got a lot of water. 30 years ago or 25 years ago, they went on a big thing about conserving water and how everybody needs to conserve water. And I'm going, what the, and my dad starts telling me, right, oh, we got to conserve water. I don't water the lawn, and all this weird stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me? Back then, I had a duplex. So we had, we were renting a duplex out, right? So there were 2 people living upstairs, 2 people living on the main floor. And my water bill was a third of what it is with just me and my wife living in this house now, because they had given up so much. People cut back so much, like you said, that they had to increase rates astronomically.
Yes.
Correct.
So you are dead on. Like, that does happen, right? Meanwhile, we got more water than we know what to do with.
Yeah,
like,
Canada actually has lots of water because not only do you have the lakes, but you have all that frozen stuff in the north part of it. You have glaciers. I mean, glaciers that are actually really thick because it's part of the Arctic Circle.
But not even that. We just have lakes everywhere.
Yeah, you have lakes everywhere because it's just
right.
It's all fresh water.
Yep. And G. Cannon, I want to piggyback what you said about, so back to the Maverick. It's like, okay, we're going to have this vehicle, which is perfect. It's a small truck. Because again, okay, Americans love trucks. That's great. But make it smaller, cool. Actually, people can drive them around, kind of robust, even with the steel wheels, kind of a good looking vehicle, squared off, a mini, you might say, F-150. And we're going to start it at $19,900 with a hybrid that gets great fuel economy. And then, we have so many people wanting one, which is the game plan. Oh, no. Now, we're not talking Shelby's or even Roush's here anymore. Let's put a $10,000 markup on it because you have to have it. That, to me, is, again, typical American hubris of greed. And that was not part of the game plan. Is you're advertising at $19,900 and these damn dealerships start ripping people off. And then everyone has to buy one. Heck, I remember back in 2001, sadly, people were paying over sticker for a PT Cruiser, okay?
Yep.
That, to me, is just awful that they have this great product at an affordable price, starting price.
Yep.
And then, oh, no, I'm sorry. In fact, I know someone who's going to go buy one. And he's like, look, I have no problem paying MSRP, but you just slapped $10,000. Well, it's a supply and demand thing. Like, okay, that's messed up.
But Fluno, nobody holds a candle to the Stellantis dealerships and what they were doing. They were throwing $15,000 on top of a pickup truck.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, they were sticking people hard. So
it's awful, and that a lot happened during COVID, and that's why these people but that's what is so sad about it, is that here's something that was designed to be a great affordable price at a quality vehicle with
everyman
and
car.
Be versatile.
Yep.
And everyman car that was versatile. And like I said, Americans love trucks. Okay, that's great. And you could, bump it up if you wanted different levels. But now, for example, you look at the website, the starting price now is $28,900.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
It kind of
also the
defeats the
starting
purpose.
price. The starting price is because they gave the unions a 20% raise.
Of course.
That has to show up somewhere. That doesn't just fall out of the sky.
But
so that made the price of American cars go up. It had
I
to. They went up 20%.
I
So I
really
won't buy
think that
American.
I really think that if Ford hadn't screwed that up, it would be the most popular car on the road right now.
Probably.
Be like a Model T.
Yeah, like they would have just sold hundreds and
Yes.
hundreds of thousands of them.
So I just pulled up an article that I saw earlier, and keep that thought about the Maverick when I pull this article up, because this is the type of stuff that when I say that Ford always likes to pull defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
So the title of this thing is, thanks to teenagers, Ford sedans may return to America. Sounds great, right? Something you want to actually, oh my God, this is a good thing.
That's the hybrid right there too. You can
Yeah, this is the one you wanted right here.
Yep.
This one right here. It's the one you wanted. A few years ago, Ford opted to stop selling sedans in the U.S. after CEO Jim Farley revealed that the company lost billions. My ass. Bull. Yeah. Liar. I mean, you lost billions on your EVs. You did not lose billions on this car. You made money on this car. Don't tell me you didn't. This is a world car. They sold these in Europe. It was the same car. Literally, it was the same car. I don't even understand this concept, this whole thing. It was a controversial decision, to be certain, and one thing that the automaker may be on the verge of reversing based on a number of recent comments from the executive, who won't rule out a potential sedan revival. So far, so good, right?
Yeah.
Cool, right? We got sedan. The revival could include not just one, but 2 EVs. Did you not learn anything? Are you stupid? I mean, really, are you just retarded, as they say in Massachusetts? Are you retarded? Because you just look a $19 billion ass whooping with these EV things, these appliances that no one wants. Nope. Why would you bring back 2 of them? For who are these for? They don't want an EV. They want a small sedan. They ask teenagers what size car they want, and they want something small. I noticed that with my daughter driving. She likes her BMW 3 Series. You know why? It's a good size.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelming. She can see all corners of the car. It's easy.
And I mean, when you look at that Focus there, it was actually a decent car at a really good price, except for that lousy 6-speed dual clutch transmission.
Yeah, the only company that could not build a dual clutch. I don't understand why.
And I mean, why not just put a regular 6-speed transmission in it? Like I'll never understand. But
they wanted a dual clutch.
It wasn't a fast car. It's got like 160 horsepower in it, whatever. It weighs 3,400 pounds. It's not going to be fast no matter what you do.
I mean, so they literally go on and on about how, first of all, they're trying to compare this to 80s and 90s. The sedans were still the primary vehicle back then. It wasn't until the 2000s that they weren't. Even minivans weren't more popular than sedans. They had them, but your sedan was still the car that was your baseline in your fleet.
Yeah. Mid 2000s is when people started going to SUVs a lot, right?
Yeah. So I would agree with that. I disagree. In the 80s and 90s, you saw minivans, but still the main car that everybody pushed was a sedan of some sort. I mean, it was just the car that the family would go in and buy before they bought a minivan. Because honestly, if you think about it, through the 90s, there weren't that many minivans available. I mean, you had Chryslers, and if you didn't like Chryslers, and they weren't really that good, you had the Ford, which really wasn't that good either, and then the Chevy things, and they were not that.
They were basically van trucks.
Yeah, I mean, and then you had, I think the first one was the Sienna. I think Toyota came out with one.
The Previa with the mid-engine.
Oh, God. Thank you. But I mean, honestly, this article is insane. This is from Ford Authority. I don't know who wrote this. Brett Foote. I don't know what I mean. Close. I already have it. So this is what Brett has written. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. But Brett lost track to all the Fords he's owned. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't understand. Why Ford has this fascination with EVs when no one wants them.
No.
I mean, seriously, they have no one wants them. I mean, literally, even Tesla has had a serious drop in sales. A serious drop in sales.
And I get emails. It's funny you say that, Dennis, because, and I respect Tesla for what they do because they are the EV primo company. You might say the originals, that they know what they're doing. But I get like daily emails, almost like in a way like, hey, Mr. Mike, I know you drove, and I did. I drove a Model 3 and I loved it. But it's like every day now I get all these like, oh, it's safe. And it's like, are you trying to get me to come in your lot? Like, where are these emails coming from out of? I mean, I know I'm on the list, but it's like daily, hello, anyone out there, please come in. And I think they've maxed. I think they've petered out at who wants to buy one.
I'm getting stuff from Ford all the time right now because we went through years where, like, I think I bought four. I know. I bought 4 new Fords in a 10-year period, right? And just because whatever, anyway, because they were cheap, and to get into a new one, they were giving them to me for 0% financing, and to get into a new one didn't cost me any more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I just put it back out over 5 years or 4 years.
Exactly.
For 0%. And it
you're just
cost
rolling
me,
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't up my payment. So if it upped my payments by $20 a month or so, who cares? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So I just kept buying new ones. But now I haven't bought one in years, right? Because I'm driving those two into the ground now. My two 2017 plug-in hybrids, I'm going to drive them till they both drop. They send me stuff.
The sad part.
They send me postcards. They just sent something saying, "Dear loyal customer, please come. We'll give you."
Please.
They know we have those 2 cars. We'll give you a better trade-in value for them. They are desperate. They're pleading with me to come in and buy new cars. They're offering me 0% financing again, even. Which is shocking in today's, you know what I mean?
In today's environment,
just to get rid of them, right?
Well, the thing is that the car companies, especially Ford, because I still get offers for my 2016. I mean, but it's like they priced themselves so far in the market. Everybody has priced themselves so far in the market. They're desperate to try to have the people come back, but the people don't want to come back because the price doesn't make any friggin' sense. This isn't 1970. Where you could just roll a car and then roll into another car for like peanuts. This is like, for me to get a truck now that I need, it's $70,000. And I'm like, that's just too much money. That's a house.
That's not the only thing with me. It's also the question of reliability. Like, are these new cars going to be as reliable as the cars that I have? And I know the cars that I have are probably the most reliable cars that Ford has made in the last 20 years. So am I going to give them up where I've had like literally no problems with them? I have done nothing to them except for brakes and tires and spark plugs and wires and air filters for like 8 years now.
Right. I think in 20 years I've had 4 brand, and it was kind of fun. Like, okay, you're gonna roll a little money over, or the payment goes up a little bit, but it was fun getting. And I tell people, look, a brand new car, there's something very special about this and that. I'll be honest, I'm very loyal to Hyundai now. I think this is just me speaking, but I think they're a great product. And I probably did need to trade my 2017 Elantra, and it had 192,000 miles on it. Not one bit of warranty work, nothing, good fuel economy, but I like the new Kona. So it was 80% emotional, 20% logic. That's fine. And I've already owned it for almost 3 years now, and it's great. But guess what? I have no desire, even with rates going down, to get a new car, because why would I want to start that payment again? It's almost like it's a buzzkill where you're not doing a $300 to $350 monthly payment anymore for a fun car. Like I would love to have another GT Mustang again. Absolutely would. I'm not spending $50,000. I'm sorry on a GT Mustang, even starting at 33, 34. That's the thing.
When I bought my 2017, there were what was it? And I know this is in Canadian dollars, right? But in 2017, we were almost at par. It was pretty close. So there were 6 Ford models that were under 30 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
F-150, the Focus, the smaller Focus. What was the little one called? Fiesta.
The Fiesta.
Fiesta. It's a Ford.
The
It's a
C-Max
Fiesta.
hybrid. Okay.
C-Max. That was a good car. I just don't have one.
That's what I have 2 of. I have 2 plug-in C-Maxes
excellent. I was about to bring.
right now,
I forgot the
year,
name of
right?
it. That's a great car. Yeah.
They had the Fusion, they had the 150, and all of them started on, and some of them, a couple of them started under 20 grand, and the rest of them started under $30,000. So they had all those cars, and at 0% financing.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like this is like basically stealing at that point. It really is.
And that's
just
basically
rebates.
Plus you can work the deal better. You know, if it's an old age unit, you know, you drop a few grand on it. Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I bought those 4 cars. None of them were mine. I had my truck, right? Yeah. I had my truck since 2003, and I drove it until 22 when it was just rotten to shit.
Sure.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, Dennis.
No, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm so sorry, man.
It's fine. I've dropped it twice because we were talking about Stellantis. So 20-cent motor. This is a fact that they did a safety study that pushed the tarnished sedan and promoted the high front end of crossovers. Yes, that's true. So basically, when somebody walks in front of one, it basically, I don't know, bumps them and kills them by flopping them forward instead of throwing them over the hood. So he, of course, don't walk in front of cars. Absolutely. That's usually a very wise thing to do. Hey, LB Bruin 7958. How you doing? Good to see you. I love this. This is great. The only people who buy Teslas are climate cultists and those who want a virtual signal that they care about the environmental for status seeking in certain political circles. Yes. 100%. I can tell you I can tell you what part of Tampa you live in by the car you drive. 100%. I can tell you that.
I totally understand why people are mad at Elon Musk. I mean, he did try and cut government waste, so why wouldn't they?
These people living off that government tit. They need that money because that's what the grift has to continue.
But I do give Tesla the credit for one. It is literally the most American-made car we have in the country. It is over 75% American parts. And so that I say, hey, you want to buy American? Go buy a Tesla. Because the other one that's most American, I believe, is a Honda Passport. Okay, or not Passport, sorry. Whatever. Is it not the Sim? What's the Pilot? The Pilot, maybe.
Pilot.
So that I give credit for. And the technology, the minds, the aerodynamics, and I know it's political, fine. But I give them props for what they're trying to do. But the bottom line is that it is virtue signaling on a lot of ways because, oh, look what I have. It's about prestige versus actually saving the planet.
So, Mike, you forgot to point out the other 25% that's not American is lithium that's dug up by little children in dangerous
horrible
facilities.
Conditions. Right. Yeah,
horrible conditions where they use up all their drinking water to clean the lithium. Yeah, so
I got
very environmental.
Oh no, I'm not. Like I said, electric cars have. I think what you can with the C-Max. Like I said, I forgot the name. I love the hybrids. I think that's a great design of fuel. With I love how they call it not so much in the C-Max, but like in the i3. Oh, it's a range extender. Oh, you mean an engine? Okay, let's not change the word.
No, that is really a range extender because I don't think
it's not enough to power the car.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough to power the car.
It can't power that car.
It will run out of electricity eventually. Like mine, if I run out of electricity on the plug-in battery, it's just a regular hybrid after that, like a Prius or whatever, right?
Nice, very nice.
So I mean, like I drove to Florida and I think I stopped 3 times and one of those times because I had to go to the bathroom. Right,
that's great.
Like
I love good fuel economy.
The most mileage I've gotten out of one of those cars was 11. I'll work it into miles in a minute. It was 1176 kilometers. So 1176 kilometers out of a 50-liter tank.
60% of that, right?
60%,
it's about 750 miles.
Oh my God. Christ, I don't think even
out
my bladder
can handle that. Tank.
Well,
I don't think
I went to LA. I went to LA a few months ago with a buddy, and the rental car we happened to get was the new Prius. And I gotta say, I mean, I don't really care for actually the dashboard and this and that, but we went literally all over the greater LA area. I mean, for like 3 solid days, drove everywhere. Because hey, as weird as California is, they still love their freeways and their cars, right? So we drove everywhere. When we went and brought it back to the airport, and we drove a lot, 3.5 gallons of gas. To me, that is amazing. That is how we should be living in 2020.
Well, I mean, I drove the ultimate. Well, if they had been a hybrid diesel, it would have been better. But I drove a diesel, a State, over in Italy, and 5-speed diesel. Drove it up and down, up north and south in Sicily, and I filled it up at the end. I got 50 miles to the gallon driving through mountains. I mean, seriously. How can you not? I mean, it's just the technology is there to get this really good fuel economy and just a regular commuting car, but we're not allowed to have it, because they have to try to have an electric appliance instead.
Correct.
Fluno, I've told Dennis this before, but I'll tell you, my one car is more in city, right? And I'm getting 54 miles per gallon over the lifetime. And the other one does more highway driving, and it's getting a little under 51 miles per gallon.
Jesus.
And that's
awesome.
The one with 51 miles per gallon. That's in winter and summer, right? You got to remember we have winter here too.
You have winters, yeah.
Right.
And that is with 180,000 miles on it already.
Well, it's broken in now.
Amazing.
That's a pretty good sample size for 51 miles per gallon, right?
Right.
I like Tony Imperial's thought process here. I wouldn't be all that crazy to find out there was some crazy love triangle between Fuel, Barra, and Farley.
I thought he was going to say between the three of us.
No, I was worried at first. I saw that. That was actually pretty funny. But Barra. You know what's so funny is that Chrissy Fuel actually took all the pressure off of Barra for being an incompetent woman in charge of her company, because at least General Motors is coming out with products, unlike Chrysler, which is coming out with nothing. General Motors is coming out with a new V8 next year. We talked about it last week. They're coming out with a new V8. I mean, they have to get rid of that 6.2 because that's going to bankrupt them. So.
Yeah, a friend of mine just bought one.
I'm so sorry.
I told him, and I mean, he spent a ton of money because he got a new Yukon Denali. And I told him originally to get the diesel, get the oil burner with it, because I'm pretty sure that as far as diesels go, that's one of the better ones.
It's one of the better ones, yeah.
Yeah, and no, he went all the way and got the 6.2. I don't even want to tell him it's got the cylinder deactivation on it.
Absolutely, that's gonna exactly.
All I know is that the machining is so bad on that engine. It has nothing to do with oil; it's machining. That they had a Cadillac Escalade that had 10 miles on it. It was the Car Wizard, I think. The Car Wizard, they brought it into him because the dealership was like, no. And literally it ate the lifters. It ate the lifters in 10 miles. How? How do you do
I dropped
that in a Cadillac?
$100,000. The dealership's paying for that.
Yeah. Well, I know. No, they were, but it was just but they're short on engines. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Kind of like saying, at least you're not Mississippi if you're Barra against Fuel.
I'll tell you what the nicest SUV I've been in lately, and I would actually, if I was spending, ridiculous amount of money, but the new Land Rover Defender is spectacular.
Oh, I bet it is
beautiful.
Unfortunately, it's still a Land Rover.
I know. But it's just amazing. Like they
make beautiful products.
The motor, the interior, and the look of it is just staggeringly gorgeous. I got to drive it for a while, and it was fast too. Like it had a ton of power for the size. And this was the long one too. I forget what it is, a 130, I think. But I mean, it was amazing. Like literally the nicest SUV I've driven in a long time. I put it at the top of the heap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but as usual, though, those are the vehicles that if you want to be really friendly with a dealership, that's the one you buy because you're going to be there a lot. They'll all know you by name. Hell, they'll send you a Christmas card every year.
The guy who bought it doesn't care, though. Like
he's obviously, you have money. If you own one of those, you have to have money. You have to.
I mean, they even ding you like an extra tax in Canada if you buy a car that's worth a certain amount, like a luxury
God, that's so
tax.
communist.
Oh yeah,
that's communist.
It's literally a luxury tax on anything over, I forget what it is, and he got dinged the luxury tax. He didn't even care. And if it starts to screw up, he'll get rid of it and get something else. But I mean, as far as if you had the money and you were just going out to buy one, I would say
they're beautiful.
Sure, why not?
Beautiful.
The interior is staggeringly gorgeous. I was shocked. But anyway,
and we used to have a slogan that said, if you can't afford one brand new, you certainly can't afford one used. So that's really what those are made for. I'm sorry, folks that have a lot of money up front and when they want to trade it in, you know, because I sold plenty of pre-owned Range Rovers and they were like beautiful, but man, I just always had a fear that, he bought it brand new. He got the extended warranty on it. And when the warranty's up, he'll get something else, right? Yeah,
his kid will probably be, 17 or 18 at that point, so he'll probably just give it to his kid.
Yeah,
it'd be a nice first car, eh? I got a Fairmont.
This is some first car.
I got a 78 Impala.
Fairmont. This kid's gonna get a Defender.
I got a 72 Charger. Wait,
79 Fairmont is what I got. Yeah.
All right.
78 Chevy. Yep.
I'm trying to find an interior picture. All I'm getting is exterior pictures of this thing. It's utterly. The exterior on this thing is absolutely. This is stunning. It really is stunning.
That's his. That's the same.
This is stunning.
Everything.
This is stunning, man.
And I like the old school rear tire.
That is the same as his. That's the extended. That's the long one. I think it's called the 130. So it's the longest.
Yes, it is. It's the 130. Yeah.
And his has a tan interior. It's the special tan interior, and it was the only one in Canada at the time that had this interior on it. And the interior is unbelievable. It's gorgeous. I have a hard time remembering.
Here it is. Here you go. Oh my dear God!
That's nice.
That's a cool wheel.
Yeah, the whole.
It's almost like 80s looking. That's cool looking.
So imagine that with like a tanned interior.
Yeah.
Wow.
Two-tone. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. I like the climate control. This is all very neat, actually. It's very neatly done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Very British.
And I'm
very British.
And it has a supercharged and a turbocharged 6. Straight 6.
This one is an 8. This model I'm looking at right here is an 8.
Yeah. When he bought his, it was like sort of tail end of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So, he had to kind of take what he could get. There weren't many of them in Canada, and he really wanted the long one with that interior. So, he had to, but the 6 still has like, what is it?
It weighs 5,800 pounds.
Oh yeah. It's
Jesus.
It's fat.
One of my Lincoln.
It has 493 horsepower, but it can tow 11,490 pounds. So it can actually really tow.
Yep.
Damn. And it gets the same as a new Charger. That is literally the same fuel economy as a new Charger.
Yep.
Congratulations. 118 before options. 130 is tested.
He has the P400, and I guess it's right around 400 horse and 400 foot-pound of torque.
Jesus.
From an inline 6, right?
Wow.
So much. Look at it. Look at those seats. Look at that. Look at that. It is so British.
Yeah, and like I said, these are like they're tan trim.
Yeah, that's
like
nice two-tone
with the trim, right? Yeah, two-tone.
Yeah,
but that's the same exterior as what he has, and that's the same color, I think, too. But gorgeous, just a gorgeous vehicle, man.
That is absolutely and this is actually a vehicle that can actually go where it says it can go.
Goes anywhere, right?
Yeah,
and
it actually really does.
He actually used to live out west where there's, like in British Columbia where there's trails and stuff and logging roads, and like you could take that out there and just go for days in it, right?
Yeah,
and it would go anywhere.
It's not leaving my driveway.
That's 118 US. I think in Canada when he bought it, it was right around 145 or something.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
beautiful. Like just the look of it, though, eh? On the outside,
this is a nice looking vehicle. This is something you wouldn't mind riding in or driving. Honestly, this is very comfortable looking. Everything's so
gorgeous.
well set out. God, look at that! Look at the controls in the back seat.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
He's got a few cars, but that's
and third row. And look at that. Yeah. That's actually a nice third row. Honestly, that looks comfortable.
Well, I told you I drove a B58 four coupe, right? 4 Series coupe.
Yeah.
Same guy who has that.
Oh, that's his too? Coupe, well, he does have taste.
Yeah, he's got some beautiful cars, there's no doubt.
You could buy a Wagoneer for that price. Yeah, that's the funny part.
God. No, thanks. No.
So, true story. I know one of my buddies works at a Stellantis dealership in Florida, and when they first were bringing the Wagoneers in, they go out and they bring the Wagoneer and they open the hood. Half of the underside of the hood was painted. The other half was still bare metal. $100,000 vehicle, and it's like, maybe you guys should have finished painting the thing before you let it go.
Wow.
Quality control, because when I talk about Chrysler quality, I'm talking about the last 20 years, which has been it's been dog shit. It's been bad. I mean, it's been really bad. And
but that's what I'm saying. Like that Wagoneer isn't much cheaper than the Rover is, right?
And it's not built this thing will have problems down the road, that Rover, but at least it will be good for a time.
Yeah,
that Wagoneer will be garbage within a year.
Yeah. He hasn't had a single issue with it so far, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's beautiful looking and it's purposely built.
Yep.
Unreal. But that B58, I literally know, and this is why I laugh at that Charger, because I know someone in the BMW circles I run in here. He has one. He has a 340, a 4-door, and he has just a small tune on it, and he runs a 9-second quarter mile of the car. 9 seconds. Yeah.
His has his 4 Series, and it's a 4 coupe the last year, and I forget what it's called. Not coupe, sorry, 4-door.
Oh, it's the Grand Coupe.
The Grand Coupe. You're right.
Yes.
I'm calling it a coupe, but Fluno properly called it a coupe, which
is
the
Grand Coupe.
Right, yes.
Yeah, the Grand Coupe. And that's what it is. And he's just got a light tune and an exhaust on it, and it's sick.
It's scary. I mean, they're scary fast. Yep. And that's why I laugh at that Charger with the Huracan in it. I'm like, you guys are never going to touch a B58.
Yeah. B58
will embarrass you every way, every trip in a train, it will embarrass you.
I even had to tell him, like, I kind of made fun of him when he bought it because, I drove a lot of BMWs in the 2000s, and they were boring as milk.
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were dry. They were boring. They were terrible. And I sort of made fun of him when he bought it. And I'm like, you might as well be like an Asian guy with no taste and stuff. I made fun of him, right? Just, like the stereotypes. And he's like, oh, screw you type of a thing. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I went and drove it. And I had to admit I was totally wrong.
Yeah.
That car is sick. It is incredibly fast. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, BMW, when they designed the B58, they literally just took all their engineering and just made an incredible motor, and you can't blow them up. I mean, I have never seen one blown up, and I know people that have close to 800 horsepower, and they drive the hell out of the car, and the car holds together. I'm going, yeah. Wow.
And he hasn't torqued it up that much, but from driving a lot of cars, for me to make a guess, I'm guessing it's about 400 and 400. You know what I mean? And even at that, it's just.
I think that's almost stock. That's almost stock because I think they're near that. They're like 385 stock.
I think the Grand Coupe came out at 345.
Oh, 345. Okay.
But the thing is then somebody threw it on a dyno, and it was like 350 at the wheels, not 345 at the motor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he puts an exhaust on it and puts a very light tune, like the BMW tune, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's now over 400 and 400, like legitimate at the wheels.
At the wheels. So that's 500. That's over 500 horsepower at the crank.
Well, it's close. Yeah, I mean probably 475 or something.
Well,
like that.
Usually it's 25% loss usually.
And the torque value is right around the same. Like they're usually around the same torque as they are horsepower.
Literally, when you tune that car, this guy that runs the 9-second, he can't start off in first gear. He starts off in second gear, drag racing.
Yeah.
Second gear.
I mean, his is all-wheel drive too, so there's no
Jesus.
spin, right?
Jesus, that's gotta be sick.
It just takes off. Like you are planted in the seat.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah. So
I want to
insane.
interject Range Rovers, like Range Rovers. I'm about to, I think, die off and quit. So I just want to say,
I guess we've had enough fun for tonight.
Yeah, it is time.
It's time. It's after 10:30.
Thank you so much, guys. I had a great time.
No.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no, really a lot of fun. G Canada, thanks so much. I'm just like, I don't want to be like rude or anything, but I'm like, I feel like the Range Rover here. I'm gonna die off.
I've had a week too, so I probably should go to bed. And I have an event I have to do tomorrow night that I'm gonna walk up and down the Italian Club stairs probably 500 times. So
there you go.
Yeah. But
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
No,
wonderful night.
Use that loosely, I guess. Thanks, G Canada, for coming on. I always love your north of the border input. Yes. It's always fun. Thanks, Fluno, as always.
Yeah.
And I'll thank myself and thank everyone.
You, Dennis,
no. Thank everyone in the chat and everyone that's been listening and everybody watching this on replay. Thanks a lot, guys. I can't do this without you guys actually doing something, because otherwise all I'm doing is recording stuff and putting stuff on hard drives. And thanks a lot for going along, and tell your friends and tell your family and hype it on the replay. Just hype. This is the hype thing. All your favorite people, hype them. But thanks a lot. And I will have a new show next week, and I'll have a new video out coming up pretty soon. And check out my Charger video if you haven't yet, because
it's good.
Really
it's excellent.
It's a fun little, it's a thing of love. All right. So from everyone here, I say ciao and see you very soon. And remember, I also remember, if you have a cool car, something fun to drive, take it out. It'll make your day. Bye. Bye. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.